Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode. Let me turn that music up for you. Of the Cigar City Sports Podcast. How's everybody doing?
Feeling great.
Lovely.
Feeling great.
We got Nello, we got Clay, we got Ryan, we got the whole squad here today.
And Nello didn't interrupt the intro.
He didn't.
Winning.
Why is that?
First in 28 or something? And
This is episode 29, but yes.
29, yeah. You had to catch him off guard?
I did.
I wasn't here for the first two episodes, so technically it's only 26.
That's right. I had to say, hey, shut up for a second, and then hit the intro.
That's what you get for not having a proper work-life balance.
Isn't that right, Nello?
Sure.
Sorry.
I thought we were doing it again.
I know
what's
you
going
were.
on?
I know you were. Oh, my goodness. What a crazy week. Kind of crazy and kind of forgettable in certain instances.
There was no college. The NFL scheduled this week wasn't all that great.
I tell you what there was. There was UFC, what was it, 259?
269.
269, which was a bit of a barn burner. It was good. A lot of this is my kind of UFC. 269 was so dope. So many underdogs winning, and what Joe Rogan called the biggest upset in UFC history.
100%.
The two main events.
Yeah, were so good.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I would have never expected Amanda Nunez to go down
before
the way
we dive
she did.
into that, though, how about the Sugar Factory still up and running?
Come on, man. Fight me somebody who's worth a damn.
The Sugar Factory took care of business.
I mean, yeah.
And in the first round, although it ended in the first round, I was like, okay, he's finally got somebody who's tough with a little bit of a chin. That guy was doing all right, and then he just put a couple on him. Game over.
If we really want to go back to it, how about my Tui with his shoey?
Tai Tuivasa.
Did you see how bad he knocked that guy the fuck out?
Oh, he handled business.
Tai is a different individual when it comes to fighting. So for those of you who don't know Tai Tuivasa, if you watch any fighting, you very soon will.
Tui shoey is what I call him.
He's a heavyweight from New Zealand?
Yeah, New Zealand.
Who's now hanging in Las Vegas. This dude looks like a melted tub of ice cream, but he hits like a dump truck.
Behind that ice cream is a jackhammer.
I don't think this is the first time I've ever seen him go to round two. But so after he's done knocking people out, which he does quite often, he's got an excellent record. I'm trying to look it up right now. He does what's called a shoey with people in the crowd. Now, what is a shoey? So glad you asked. Somebody throws him a shoe, their shoe. He then spits in it, pours a beer, and then drinks the whole thing. I'm getting a big no from one of my executive producers.
So thanks to a very good friend of ours, Dave Pearson.
Oh, who we watched this whole pay-per-view
Yes, who we watched it with out in Hochatown, Broken Bow, Arizona.
By the way, Jelly,
Oklahoma.
that was a nice setup you guys
Broken Bow,
went to.
Oklahoma, yeah. So we're watching that, and he gives us the full rundown. So this is a New Zealand thing, like rugby players are because rugby's so big.
Huge.
This is what they do. So the idea is you pick a stranger, takes their shoe off, and they spit in the shoe, and then throw it to you for you to pour the beer in and drink the beer out of. So the stranger spits in it. Now with
you got to mix the sweat disgusting. And the spit, and
with
then
him,
wash it down with a beer.
He had some YouTube star, some YouTube personality that they pre-picked for that because now it's a whole thing for him, and I get that. That's a brand thing. But in New Zealand, when a rugby team wins, random fans spit in their own shoes, and then those rugby players take those shoes, pour the beer, and drink that. That's just asking.
It's disgusting
for various.
So this time it was set up with like a professional YouTuber. There was once where he won. I think it was on the last Poirier undercard.
And he did four.
I was about to say, let's also not forget
one of them was
the
like the
walkout.
dude who poured like the whole bottle of hot sauce in it, and he's like, "What the." It was funny.
Let's not forget the walkout. Yes, then he did a bunch of others with random shoes.
Yeah.
Random people's shoes.
I want to throw up so bad right now.
If he ever wins a title, I'll do a shoey.
He's a beast.
I would just be like, guys.
He's not going to win a title. I'm telling you right now. Cyril Gahn is going to sit up there at the top, and it's going to be him and maybe, what's his name?
Stop.
Big boy. The one you're trying to tell me is better.
Ngannou.
Ngannou's going to be second place. Cyril Gahn's going to be number one.
I can tell you this. If I was one of those guys on his walk out back out of the arena and I'd be like, I'll throw you my shoe. I'm going to need that back.
I'm going to need it back.
I ain't walking around Vegas with one fucking shoe.
No.
Okay?
Oh, man, it was awesome. So many good fights. But on the main card, O'Malley crushed it. And everybody thought Cody Garbrandt was going to come out there and dominate because he dropped weight, fought a smaller guy, and he was telling him, you guys are going to find out what power is. And this dude, Tai Kara-France, who's 23-9-0, much more fights than Cody, knocked him the fuck out. It was very impressive.
I'll give Garbrandt credit because when he was getting hit, he was trying to take him to the ground, and the kid's ground defense was keeping him up. So the kid's got a lot of bright future ahead of him. Yeah. A big one. He looked really good.
I didn't see this next fight because I walked out to watch, to me, a better fight. I watched Lomachenko go against Commey, which was awesome. But I'll talk about that next. We had Amanda Nunez, who is being called the greatest female fighter of all time. She's beaten so many greats, going up against Juliana Pena. And Juliana Pena actually got worked round one. It was a rough round for her.
Nunez is the only person to beat Shevchenko.
I got to be honest with you, until that loss, Nunez was definitely the greatest female UFC fighter of all time.
Look at what she did to Holly Holm. Look at what she did to...
she clearly was.
What's her name?
And she was through that first round where she was working
Look what she
Pena.
did to Ronda.
She was working Pena that first round. She was no ifs, ands, or buts about him. You look at how swollen Pena's face was.
I don't believe Nunez has fought Ronda Rousey. Not that it matters.
She did. Owned her.
Yes, she did.
Oh, really?
Dude, she blitzkrieged her ass and just beat her down to a bloody pulp.
The only reason why it's brushed over so much is that was kind of after, that was when Rousey was on the way down. And that's the only reason why.
That was her return to the MMA greatness. And Rousey was like...
When I'm depressed, there are some things that I do. One of them is watch Ronda Rousey.
First round TKO, 48 seconds.
I will tell you this, though. Nunez, come round two, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy.
I agree with what you're about to say.
I wouldn't even really say this is a conspiracy theory. You just didn't see the fight in Nunez.
Nope.
You could see that she was gassed as fuck. You could tell that she had that champions on top mentality and did not train properly. You could see it. When she got submitted,
she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
She smiled and was like, "Oh, okay," like glad it was over. Like she did not properly. Now, I haven't heard any interviews or anything like that.
I know she said she checked out. Mentally, she said she checked out.
Okay,
for some reason.
It makes sense. She's got the big deal from Modelo. She's one of the most popular female figures in sports.
She just had a baby with her girlfriend.
Adopted a baby with her
they had it.
Wife.
I don't know how they did that, but they had
one of them was insemination.
Well, it's called insemination.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to get into
But anyway.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there.
You could tell after that first round that Nunez did not have. It's like she didn't train right.
In the second round, she thought she was going to roll over Pena, and that's when Pena brought the game.
Pena put that left jab,
that damn jab,
under her chin so many times. Yeah. I was like, God, hey, kudos. We're talking not talking shit, but Nunez didn't really knock it out, but she's tough, man.
Oh, Nunez gave her the whole first round at the best she had.
She got up.
And Juliana Pena handled that. Yeah. You got to give her credit for that. That was full on Nunez round one.
I am excited
for
this
But then she was done after that.
This is going to be a good rematch.
Here's the fight that we didn't talk about. We didn't do any picks. But I had a feeling Charles Oliveira was not going to be rolled over. That dude has been waiting so long. You could see the emotion. You took a look in the preparation, and then I was like, wait a minute. Looking at the kind of fighters these guys are, Oliveira might fuck Dustin Poirier up.
I said that because the way that man can submit people in the positions that he can.
And now he's tied for most finishes by submission in UFC history.
He's not a pushover.
So, that fight was amazing. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Oliveira's a tough son of a bitch. He took Poirier's best shots and got up.
That was some good hard hitting.
Holy shit. Poirier came dropping bombs. Yeah. He thought he could knock him out, and Oliveira was stronger.
Oliveira
won the fight when he hit him with that knee in the ribs. He was never the same after that
Poirier
first
was
knee in the ribs.
And hitting him a lot.
No, I know. I saw that. I think Poirier, so we talk about Amanda Nunez coming in with that I'm the champion. I think Dustin Poirier came in there like, this dude's a road bump. He didn't take Charles Oliveira as seriously as he should have. He thought he had that name recognition. He was in there bowing to the crowd, playing to them before he walked into the ring. He looked like he was just going through the motions.
He thought he could outlast him.
Because we've
even
seen,
said that press conference.
We've seen some
deep into the water.
Some ultra-focused fighters come into the ring. We've seen some people that aren't looking, they're not high-fiving the crowd, they're walking in, they're doing their shit, and Oliveira had that.
So Oliveira just looked to me like he was willing to do whatever it took to win. Because when they were on the ground and Poirier had him in guard, did you see what he was doing with his gloves? Just rubbing his face?
Yeah.
I mean, that he just didn't care how he won. He didn't care if he won dirty. He didn't care if he won knocking him out. He didn't care if he submitted him. All he wanted to do was win. And I think Poirier was just too stuck in his ways.
How did he win?
He got his back and then just choked him out.
Here's the shit that he did. No, he didn't just to say
no,
that.
That's how he won. No. That's how the submission.
Right.
That's what I said last week.
That's giving him an injustice.
To get there, he did everything.
So what he did, he took Poirier's back, and everybody's like, he's in deep shit. So he leaned over and was trying to go for a rear naked. His feet are not touching the ground. No. He's got his hooks in, and he's elevated. So he's got the neck. Let's go. Lifts up. And as soon as he does that, this is kind of one of those things they teach you in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is don't expose your neck. So he lifts up. Poirier looks up to see where he went. And as soon as he looks up, bam, got him again.
So fast. The way he did that was so fast.
It was one of the freshest submissions I've ever seen.
Poirier did not at all give credit to his submission ability.
I think
that's how it is, man.
That knee, he was never the same after that knee in the first round.
Well, I'll tell you what, some things will happen that just change a fight, and you're right. A clean shot with the knee to the ribs, that takes care of your air. It's also he
hard
could have
after that.
Broken a rib, could have done a lot of damage.
Not forget, that was just, you're talking about the big knee. Mm-hmm. He took a lot of other knees.
Yeah.
But he took one straight to the sternum at one point. Like those guys went to war. Poirier did the best he could, but Oliveira was willing to do whatever it took.
Well, Oliveira had control on the ground for 5 minutes and 41 seconds.
I've never seen a UFC fighter use their hands on someone's face like that.
Oh, you've never seen him, man?
So
not like that.
You got to watch Oliveira,
like that.
his reel, bro, because some of his submissions are just dumb. From standing up in some of the craziest positions, that guy is literally
people
an artist, like he's a king.
For hand control, like in actual submission, it's not legal in the UFC. That's one of the things they do. So you'll put your hand over somebody's mouth and nose so they can't breathe. And what's going to happen? They freak out. So he can't do that. So that's why he's putting the wrist and putting the forearm in that area, because Poirier already has a human being laying on him. He can't breathe. Now he's got to fight to try to get air on top of that. I think Poirier was just done.
Yeah, John Jones used to do that a lot.
Gaethje's next.
John Jones used to cover up with
face.
You think Gaethje can play with Oliveira? I don't think so. I think Oliveira is a little more skilled than Gaethje, because I saw what he did with Michael Chandler, and I saw what Oliveira did to Chandler. I don't know.
You just said the same thing twice. You saw what he did to Chandler, and then
I saw what Gaethje did to Chandler, and I saw what Oliveira did to Chandler.
Gotcha. So I think if he takes those same shots from Gaethje that Poirier did, I think Gaethje has the power to knock him out. I'm not changing my pick. I'm with Oliveira till he shows me something different.
I agree.
But that was good.
I definitely said he was going to win last week.
I also want to talk about Lomachenko. That boxing match, did you watch it?
No, but we'll get back to the Cyril Gane argument later.
That was one of the most impressive outings in boxing I've seen in a while. Lomachenko's already a freak, and yes, sure, I gush over this guy all the time, but watch him fight. He is purposefully picking bigger, stronger fighters so that he can make a case to get back to his titles. And there were 3 times that he went to Commey. Well, first time he knocked him out, or knocked him down. As soon as he got up on the 8 count, Loma turns around and pointed to his corner and goes, "Go sit down. You're going to need it. I'll see you next round." Never seen people do shit like that. He's pointing and said, "Go ahead." And then after he'd keep knocking him or keep doing something, he would turn and scream at Comey's corner like, "Save your fighter. Get him out of here. He can't do it." And Loma's just ring movement is insane. That dude is just so good. But here's something I want to talk about.
He still went 12, right?
He went 12. That's right.
You got to give him credit for that.
Loma's a smart fighter. he's a smart fighter because Commey is big as hell compared to him and throws rocks. He has 30 wins with 27 knockouts. He's got legitimate knockout power. So Loma's going in there when he can. It was chess and checkers in the ring is what I call it. But what I want to talk about is not that. I want to talk about the boxing that happened very early on in the beginning. Ali's grandson. I remember, I forget his full name, but he fought a Mexican fighter who I looked at him and I was like, who is this dude? He really shouldn't be in the ring with Ali's grandson. I mean, he's kind of a bum. And then I realized this is Nico Ali Walsh. He's only had 3 fights. And they interviewed him after the match, and he said, that's my grandfather's name, man. That's why I'm getting shot up so quick. He's not getting a chance, because I was actually giving him shit, like, why are you in here with this bum, blah, 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 blah. And then he said that, and I was like, son of a bitch. He's absolutely right. I mean, look at a lot of these guys. They have 15, 20 fights before they're doing fights that mean something.
That's true.
Yep. And this guy, Tyson. Fight 3. Okay, you're doing that thing that you do all the time, Nello.
I was just naming somebody. I was just naming somebody.
No, see, that's the point. You're not naming somebody. You're naming the fucking elite. You're naming Mike Tyson. That's one of one.
You're speaking as if hindsight doesn't happen.
Mayweather?
You compare the normal motherfuckers to people who have broken the mold.
That's like comparing Pickett to Bryce Young.
He's not normal. He's still Muhammad Ali's grandson.
That's, you know what? I call myself the king of the segue, but I thought that was a perfect segue. Did you watch the Heisman Trophy presentation?
All I'm saying is Kenny Pickett was
did
more
you watch
important.
Bryce
was
Young
more important
it?
to Pittsburgh than Bryce Young.
More
was
importantly, did you hear his speech after?
I didn't hear either because once my phone blew up with this red tide all over it, I was like, God damn it!
Who lit you up? I didn't.
Everybody else.
All I sent you was, like, hey, Nello, and a gif of Leonardo DiCaprio throwing money off his yacht in The Wolf of Wall Street. That's
and then once he did that, I was just like, okay.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, big kudos to that young man. He is a phenomenal person.
He's definitely got a bright future.
You can tell why he's so level-headed in very pressure situations because the guy has a good foundation.
I want to talk a little bit about the voting and how that went, because I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, this was the biggest landslide victory we've seen in the Heisman voting. That
somebody had more first place votes?
Okay.
I know that for a fact, but I cannot remember who.
I just want to say
who has the most.
That Bryce Young had 678 first place wins.
That sounds right.
And the next closest guy, who was Pickett, I believe. No, it wasn't Pickett.
No, it was Hutchinson.
It was Hutchinson. Had 78.
Yeah.
That, my friend, is an ass whooping. And you know who had more than Pickett and C.J. Stroud?
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson.
Not even a finalist.
Didn't even get invited to New York.
Had more first place votes.
There's actually a lot more people that got more votes in first place votes than Bryce Young.
I thought there was.
Tony Dorsett, Ricky Williams, Cam Newton, Baker Mayfield, Charlie Ward,
For a
Mariota.
long time, I remember after the O.J. trial, O.J. having the most Heisman votes, first place votes in history.
Troy Smith, Joe Burrow got second at 841, and the most overall at 855 is OJ.
I meant the spread between everybody else. But hey, if those numbers are bigger, it's the same amount of people that vote.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's still got to be a higher spread.
Point 855 votes for
ass
Juice.
Whooping. Yeah. Point is ass whooping.
Not to mention, there is a very good possibility that Bryce becomes the second player to win it twice. There's a very good possibility, barring something crazy next season.
Who's on the radar right now?
I can tell you, step number one, who cares about anybody else? The Bama O-line that was suspect for most of the year is not going to be anywhere near suspect. They're going to be a lot more like they were against Georgia and in their other good games. They're not going to be this hot, cold, hot, gold. So that you give Bryce time? Are you kidding me? You saw it against Georgia.
C.J. Stroud, depending on how he does. I mean, he's still an elite quarterback.
I see C.J. Stroud putting up phenomenal numbers that just aren't quite as good as Bryce's.
I also see Chris Olave out there in Ohio State, and that dude is different. He's a first-round pick.
But they always push
There
out
are two
receivers
Ohio State receivers that are projected to go in the first round. I mean, he's got serious talent. I'm not saying that Bryce Young doesn't. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that he's going to put up crazy numbers.
I would feel more confident that
Chris Olave
Bama is going to
Wilson.
keep a higher caliber of weapons around Bryce than Ohio State will around C.J. Stroud, just because of simple recruiting at this point. That's just the way it goes.
Honestly, does recruiting even matter anymore with all these guys
when you're talking
transferring all the time now, man?
Okay,
I mean,
but
seriously, we're making this big deal. The number one quarterback recruit left Ohio State to go to Texas. It doesn't matter anymore.
1 year in to Coach Brian Harson's tenure at Auburn, he is now losing his starting quarterback and starting running back.
Yeah,
to the
but
portal.
you gave that starting quarterback so much shit, so maybe he told him, hey, kid, you're done.
He didn't do that. He kept him in there as the starter way longer than he should have. They should have put the backup in early in the season.
You know that SEC stuff is crazy down there.
It is. The fans are absolutely crazy, but Bo Nix and Tank Bigsby leaving Auburn is mind-blowing to me. It's wild, especially all the times they've shown Bo Nix as a kid in the stadium with his parents, going crazy, loving it, and now being this superstar for them, which he is. Their record may not reflect that, but he is. And now, after one bad year,
he's a good quarterback.
This kid, who is a good quarterback, he has talent. He is now willing to leave this school that he's been loyal to his whole life
with a new coach that he just only had 1 year with.
I mean, this is freaking wild. Now, the kid that you're talking about, the Ohio State kid, he's from Texas.
Yeah.
So him going to Texas, I'm like, he didn't get a full year. Maybe he's homesick. Maybe his girlfriend's back in Texas. I don't know what it is. So that one makes a little bit more sense. Money, for sure.
I think Sark wanted a quarterback and he's not getting Arch.
I think it's all money.
I think,
from the kid's perspective.
I disagree. I think there's more factors to that than just that. I think playing time is a big one because nobody at Texas is going to take his job.
Everything I've heard this kid say and his attitude, he's all about the money.
100%. I agree with him.
He's all about the money. And listen, he's the first of many that we're going to see that now that they can get paid.
You think he's going to get $1 million NIL deal sitting behind
this is just the tip of the
C.J. Stroud
iceberg.
at Ohio State?
This is the tip of the iceberg.
Let's just be real.
Well, let's also compare Ohio State to not Ohio State. That's unfair to say. Let's compare football in Ohio to football in Texas. Then talk money.
Way more money being spent in Texas. You got to remember these name and image and likeness thing, whatever it is.
That's not true. Big Ten makes money too.
We're
not talking about that.
Let me finish my point because you're not assuming what I'm saying right at all. You look at all of these deals that you see that they post on Twitter, and this guy's getting this guy's getting that. Most of these high dollar deals are from these businesses that are hyper local to that area or big names in that area and not nationwide. You're not talking about, this guy's signed a deal with Taco Bell. You're talking about smaller companies like Milo's, the restaurant that makes the sweet tea in Alabama. They're paying our guys.
It's still
you're talking about Rammer Jammer Cafe and others, right? But Milo's not regional. Milo's Alabama.
This is now just legitimate ways for these boosters to pay their kids.
Right. And when all this shakes out and all the complaining happens, and every time you, Mr. Nello, want to point out, it's Alabama and Saban got these guys through the transfer portal, Saban was vehemently against
he really was.
No, I agree. Saban knew what was going to happen. He knew.
He did not want it. They passed it anyway.
He knew what was coming.
And now he's working it. It's the same thing with there was some other rule change that he was vehemently opposed to.
The NIL. He didn't want to either.
Not NIL. It wasn't, yes, he was opposed to that, but the other big rule change was on the recruiting rules where they wanted to open it up so that coaches could do more across the country. Harbaugh bitched and moaned about it like a crybaby.
He did.
Saban didn't want it either. but they made it okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think he's going to do?
Got to adapt.
He's going to be the GOAT of that. That's what, you know.
But that transfer forward is going to be disability for Alabama, who's got a second string guy who just by the time because your depth is going to get hit.
So
can I tell you the first big transfer portal guy that we got? Jameson Williams.
I'm sure you know that guy's name.
I mean,
Georgia damn sure
think of the players you're going to lose.
Well, that's
fine.
That's already been happening.
That's what's great when you have so much depth and bring so much depth in every year in recruiting. You find to lose guys because guess what else you're going to do? You're going to pull guys through the portal as well. And that's what he's best at. He's better than every other coach at that.
I mean, he is the best recruiter I've ever heard of.
And he's going to pull who he wants from transfer. If someone comes and says they're entering the portal, you better damn believe if Saban wants him, he's pulling out all the stops for that kid, and that kid's coming here like Jameson Williams did.
Speaking of transfers and Heisman hopefuls, Spencer Rattler going to South Carolina?
Oh, the Gamecock. Hey, we were all wrong. We were all wrong. We thought he was going Pac-12.
I thought so, too.
I thought he was maybe going to go with Lincoln Riley.
But does South Carolina even make sense?
Yeah.
The Gamecocks are one quarterback away from...
That's where I'll tap that money button for him, too. Because the SEC definitely wanted a high-profile guy.
What about Kentucky?
What about Kentucky? Who makes more money, the University of Kentucky or the University of South Carolina when it comes to football?
Right now, I would assume Kentucky is a little bit more relevant.
After 1 year?
When you look at the money that's going to be spent on athletes, the Kentucky money is going first to the basketball team,
to basketball.
And then football. Whereas in South Carolina,
football,
South Carolina booster money and those business owners and those businesses, that money, anybody that wants to spend their money on South Carolina players, football's all they got.
Mm-hmm.
They are not relevant at all in any other sport.
You think he's going to fit with that system?
Except maybe lacrosse. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because I don't follow it.
Say that again?
You think he's going to fit in that system with that coach?
I don't think it's going to matter. I think Spencer Rattler's going to show up and they're going to fine-tune a playbook for him.
I was about
Oklahoma
to say, they will
too.
Adjust things within reason around him to make things work.
Yeah. They're going to start doing a lot of triple option stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of things that are going to fit his skill set and make him successful. Do I think he's going to find more success? Absolutely not.
One of the things I loved about Bryce Young this season and how we watch, and in regards to Nick Saban, is whatever they were doing coaching wise in practice, and before the season, all that, Bryce Young was afraid to scramble and run. You could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida game shouldn't have been as close. He could have ran the ball into the end zone easily, but it's like he was afraid to do it. And that comes back to coaching where they're like, you do not need to flush out. We don't want, probably because of injury or whatever, possibility of fumble, whatever.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it. And then you see in Georgia, when he had it, so something flipped with the coaching where they said, you know what, Bryce, let's throw out how hard we might have been. I'm just assuming here, but to see it happen like that, and they're like, you know what, let's adjust our play calling a little bit. Let's adjust our mindset on this. And if you've got the room to run, you do you.
It was definitely a big game changer for that. But I also want to talk about Georgia in a sense that they, after this year, might be in a little bit of trouble. I mean, they've lost that defensive coordinator already. He's gone to Oregon.
Like Kirby's
he's coaching the playoff.
No.
Yeah, he is.
I just looked at a story that said he wasn't.
Look it up. He's confirmed. He's coaching the playoff, and then Muschamp and the other guy's going to co-coordinate.
Next year?
I'm assuming that means the championship if they win the playoff game.
I am going to look it up because I just saw something when we were sitting outside. But either way, that's happening. They're losing so much talent in the draft this year. They're losing a lot of star players. Do we get the same Georgia? Are they going to reload like Bama reloads?
Kirby Smart said Florida that Lanning will stay with the team.
Oh, okay.
As of 3 days ago, unless something happened like 20 minutes ago that I don't know about.
It says through its playoff run. Yeah. So I have to assume. But in the same articles that I read, they announced Muschamp and this other guy's co-defensive coordinators. I'm assuming if he's staying with them, if they beat Michigan and he's going to still be the coordinator for the championship, they're going into the offseason with co-DCs. And then they're
USA Today does say the same thing.
And then they're going to name somebody as the DC.
Yeah.
Man, one of your corners even transferred out of Bama to go to the U.
Well, good for them.
Okay.
See ya.
Who was it? Was it that kid that sits on the bench.
I hope. No, I would.
4-star recruit.
Got to be
Marcus
honest
Banks.
with you.
Marcus Banks. How many downs did he play last year?
Let me go look right now.
Yeah, it's not much. That's because we've got guys that are outperforming him.
Yeah. And let's be honest, our secondary wasn't the best this year.
Yeah. No, it certainly wasn't. It was suspect. We missed Patrick Surtain like the deserts missed the fucking rains.
Yeah. This was one of the weakest secondaries we've had in the Saban era.
Yeah.
For sure.
So let's take our first break of the day. Then we're going to get into the very first mock draft for 2022 coming out from Todd McShay, Nello's best friend.
We got to do the picks for the bowl games when we get back.
We're going to do that, and then we're going to do our picks, and then we're going to get into some NFL. All right? So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to those commercials. They help us, even if they don't help you. Oh, this is actually my favorite time, draft time. When we start seeing some of the future of some of these programs come in and see what some of the future leadership's going to be. And I don't know about y'all, but my favorite part of draft time is when somebody makes a stupid fucking pick. It really kind of gets me going. It warms my heart when people do that. And, hey, listen, before you think I'm going to shit on everybody else, the Buccaneers did it with Roberto Aguayo. I remember
worked out, man.
Being in the stadium and going, what? And then immediately going into my, let's make this. I was a spin doctor that day. I was like, no, he's got the most points in college football history.
If it would have worked out,
he's going to be great.
It would have been good.
Yeah, but at least it's not recent history.
No,
when Justin Jefferson's still on the board. Oof. And Howie Roseman, who thinks he's like God in the draft, he's good at everything else but the draft, is like, we're going to take Jalen Reagor out of TCU. third round grade as a punt returner, first round draft pick.
Well, some of those wide receivers out of Texas are pretty damn legitimate. They really are.
Jalen Reagor, because he can't catch
I agree, but I think of people like Josh Gordon who did have problems with the weed. And then you look at
scored a touchdown this week.
Roy Williams, all those men, and they're good. So I understand, but hindsight is always 2020.
Exactly.
Are you fucking kidding me? Did you know who Jalen Reagor was before he was drafted by the Eagles? I still don't know who he is. Yes, I did. LSU.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
me?
And
what did he done before that draft? What did he do the season before that draft? Tell me right now.
He put up monster numbers at LSU.
Did he? Sitting on his fucking ass when he sat out the whole season?
That was Jamar Chase.
No. Justin Jefferson? Sat out too.
JJ won a title.
Wait, who am I thinking of? Ryan, help me.
Jamar Chase.
Am I thinking of Jamar Chase?
He sat out that last year. Yeah.
Who got drafted this year?
Jamar Chase.
Okay, I'm going to hold on, guys. I need a few minutes to put my foot directly in my mouth because I thought we were talking about Jamar Chase.
Nah, Justin Jefferson won the title.
I'm a piece of shit and I deserve to die young. Anyway. Let's go. So McShay came out. He's not my favorite, but he's the first one to release his mock draft, and I thought it would be something that we should go over and take a look at, specifically some of our teams and just some of the interesting things that he's got going on way too early. We've got no combine. We've got no pro day. We've got no end of the season. So this is, it's just content. It's stuff to talk about.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Lions take Aiden Hutchinson number 1, that's just a homer pick, man. There's better players out there.
It is a homer pick, and that is a terrible pick. By the way, who's our first overall pick?
Yeah. McShay's got it at the Lions taking Hutchinson.
I don't think they'll take. They need a quarterback.
There's no way. Yeah.
And there's no quarterback.
Well, they also have several picks in the first round.
Your boy Pickett's out there.
But he ain't worth number 1. He ain't worth number 1.
Hey, before we go into all
more
this
drafts coming out.
Yeah.
Let that be said.
Let's go into this real quick and just take a look at where it lies.
We got the Lions with Hutchinson. We got the Texans with Thibodeau.
Anybody who can play football can play on the Texans.
As of right now, Thibodeau, these are some of these picks, obviously, that I'm looking at. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
This next one's a big pick for that team.
We've got the Jaguars taking Evan Neal out of Alabama, which I wouldn't be surprised if they're dumb enough to take someone else.
But, however, this is the smartest pick of the draft so far.
Absolutely.
They're getting, to me, the overall best player at 3.
You're getting that player who he may not be like oh my God, shocking all talent, but he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler for
easily. He's Joe Thomas. He's Joe Thomas.
Yes.
He went to the Browns.
He's a guarantee.
Got no recognition. Got shit on. Played there his whole career and is easily the best left tackle they've ever had.
No flash. Just he's just going to play and he's going to be fine.
They desperately need him to help Trevor Lawrence.
And that is the smartest pick they could possibly make. And not to mention, next year ETN will be back too, so maybe that's something.
Yeah. Then we got the Jets taking Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU.
An injury-prone cornerback.
Giants taking Karlaftis out of Purdue. Panthers taking Cross out of Mississippi State.
What if the Giants took Pickett at 5? Obviously, Daniel Jones isn't the answer.
I don't think that's the move. Honestly, this is like we've talked about this all year. Is like there's not a quarterback available right now that I'm like I am going to hinge my franchise to this young man. There isn't one of them.
Like even Carolina, obviously the Cam Newton experiment isn't working.
Look at the Giants.
They could take a quarterback too.
Look at the Giants.
If the Giants took a quarterback this early, and he turns out to be another Danny Dimes, they're right back in the same position.
And remember, when he got picked out of Duke, the Giants fans practically revolted. They were like, are you fucking kidding me? Look at this. Mm-hmm. And Danny Dimes has shown a lot of flashes of greatness, but he hasn't been able to string enough wins together to be worthwhile.
He's a good quarterback. He's just not that excellent top-tier quarterback that a place like New York needs.
So
if that makes sense.
So to number 7, the Giants again, taking Nakobe Dean from Georgia.
Now that is an interesting pick. The kid Dean is a baller.
Yeah.
He's going to have a good NFL career, barring him staying healthy.
Is this the kid who got arrested?
Georgia, Dean. No.
Okay. I think they could take that defensive tackle out of Georgia too.
So and then we got the Falcons taking Jameson Williams.
That makes sense, 100%.
So wait a minute. That's the craziest thing to me. All those years ago, they trade the entire farm for Julio. Then, however many years later, their first round pick, wide receiver, Calvin Ridley. Now here we go back again. First round pick, Jameson Williams. What's going on, Atlanta?
Wouldn't be surprised.
You guys want to talk about it?
But Ridley stepping away from football was unknown and unwarranted.
For sure.
They had no idea.
For sure.
If he comes back, they won't take
the Falcons are betting harder on Matt Ryan than I do.
I'm going to disagree with you wholeheartedly. That if Calvin Ridley is there, they don't go with Jameson Williams.
No, they'll take
disagree.
Pickett. They'll take Pickett.
I disagree.
This is another place where that quarterback could land and stay another year behind Matty Ice. That's the perfect situation for him.
I think you have way too much faith in Kenny Pickett.
I'm just saying he's the best quarterback in the draft.
No, there's no argument there.
That's fine.
These are teams that
I'm just
going based off like
you still got to look at how
you
still got to look at how dangerous that is to take a quarterback that high,
and how much money now contractually you have to pay these quarterbacks that high.
Okay.
He's a top 10 pick.
You want to know why offensive and defensive linemen are typically the earliest picks? It's because those guys transition right into the pros. If they're that good, no problem. You're flipping a coin on quarterbacks.
Yeah, you are.
You can see it across the league now.
Or it's just me hoping to God that they're not there at 10 because fucking Howie Roseman is picking for the Eagles.
Look at the level of competition. Now, defensive linemen, it's like you say, you can't teach 6'6", 330 pounds.
No, sir.
That's going to translate. Now, these quarterbacks playing at Pitt and maybe not playing the top brass defenses throughout the year, that shit doesn't translate at the next level.
Not to mention the difference between college and pro playbooks are so ridiculous. If they don't have, they may be a guy that goes and he's the first guy in the locker room, in the weight room every morning. He's the last guy there every night. Doesn't mean he can handle what it takes to know that playbook and know how to check down, know how to audible, know how to do all that.
So what are we thinking? What you just said, I'm just going to go into a draft pick that was last year. Do you think that that's Zach Wilson's problem in New York as the Jets quarterback?
No, his problem is he plays for the Jets.
Okay.
So there's a lot to be said for Zach Wilson. I think he was picked too high. I don't think he's as good as his pick reflects.
Okay.
I think he was a victim of necessity for the Jets.
But there were so many other better quarterbacks available.
You're talking hindsight here. That was a very sexy pick for them. Right. But Mac Jones didn't have the hype.
Yeah.
He didn't. So, not to mention, Mac Jones is the complete opposite of Zach Wilson. He fell into a situation that was tailored for him to be successful.
Fields was still available.
Where did Zach Wilson come from?
BYU. And
good year.
He was not being asked to put the whole team on his back and win. He was asked to show up, complete these passes when I fucking tell you to, and that's it. And Mac Jones flourishes like that.
Yeah, he runs the game.
He's a very
game
smart
manager.
quarterback. I don't think he's as physically arm talented as Zach Wilson, but it doesn't matter because he's asked to go to New York, who is notoriously very hard on all of their teams, as a rookie to repair an absolute shit team with a brand new coach, no winning culture, no leaders on that team.
In a big city like New York.
The leaders on that team in New York, who? Quinnen Williams, the rookie from Bama.
C.J. Mosley.
Linebacker from Alabama. I mean, who else is on that team that is a bona fide leader that's running that locker room?
Corey Davis?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
You're asking him
Jameson
to come in
Crowder.
and be a winner.
Jamison Crowder.
Sure.
Corey Davis is a
wide
bum.
receivers are not typically locker room leaders.
I was just going off of what you said. Like, well, the fact that he's played lesser talent will affect him in the draft, and maybe you're right. This next pick by the Jets is good too. This safety out of Notre Dame.
We'll see how he does.
So, yeah. But
He's had a couple of really good
At the
games.
same time, the Jets could take all the help on defense they can get.
I'd be surprised if he stayed
Then
at 9.
at number 10, we have Phil Bitch made trick as can't get right Eagles taking David Ojabo from Michigan.
So you always like to put the fun names, so I put some fun names on my list. This was the Philadelphia bitch-ass tricks, can't get right Eagles.
The Las Vegas Raiders taking DeMarvin Leal from A&M.
I also approve that pick. We need help. On
Let's
the
go
defensive
back
line.
to that pick, the Eagles pick. I want to talk about that. Who is it they pick up right there?
David Ajabo or Ajabo.
A Jogbo?
Ajabo.
And he is from Michigan, correct?
Defensive
defensive
end
end out of
opposite of Hutchinson.
And so you think that's
Pass rusher.
the pick, pass rush?
Pass rusher, 100%. Brandon
you got-
Graham's getting old.
When you got like
And
4
Derek
in the first
Barnett.
round, you could do that.
See, Derek Barnett didn't
That's
pan
true.
out. He didn't pan out at all. He
Is
ain't
he-
worth it. And he's gone.
And what's the likelihood? Okay, so what's the likelihood
Brandon
that
Graham
the
is old.
Eagles are offloading some of these picks?
100. I hope to God 120%.
What do you think? You think that the Eagles are going to say, this is our year, we're investing all 3 of these first-round picks, or do you think they offload even one of them and say, give us a first-rounder next year?
They would be stupid not to sell one of these first-round picks.
If not 2.
They
If
would
not
be
2.
dumb.
If not
2.
I don't disagree.
2's not out of the question.
Listen, if Miami
But they got
and
a
the
lot of
Colts
issues.
aren't in the top 20, I'm trading him. Give me a first-rounder next year, no problem.
Honestly, if it's me,
We're obviously, if you don't trade and you stay in this draft, you're taking a quarterback, and Jalen Hurts isn't your guy.
I'd have to really I'd have to really look and see who's later in the first round that has someone they could give to the Eagles that they need.
Now, they wouldn't take
And they
players.
go
He
from
wants
there.
draft capital.
Well, you don't
He's
want
made it pretty evident.
Well, you're an idiot if you just trade this year's first round for a first round next year. That's dumb.
You'll get at least 2 picks for a first-rounder, 2 value picks.
I would say you get a player
a first and a fourth is perfect.
in the first round pick because they obviously need it. If you're
It's very
talking to
hard.
them.
There's a lot of these draft day trades aren't about players; they're about future draft capital.
see, to me, I would go get a player.
Yeah.
All season, I'd go get guaranteed talent
Free
for a
agents.
first round pick.
They
I'd
have
go
so
get-
much money next year.
I'd
You can
go
have
get
all the
some
money you
people.
want, but I'd go get guaranteed talent.
But I agree. If we don't trade him, then we're getting a quarterback, and Howie Roseman's going to ruin another draft.
Now, after the Raiders taking Leo, we've got Pittsburgh Steelers taking your
Kenny Pickett.
favorite, Mr. Pickett.
I don't think he'll be there.
Now, this is
I see that changing.
a homer pick
I
for
see-
sure.
I see it changing.
And I agree.
Because he
I
moves
think
up.
after Pro Day, Kenny Pickett is going to really climb that chart. Now, the reason being is because the league anymore is such a quarterback-starved league. And everything, and as you'll notice on that list of all 32, RB ain't on there.
He has that Pittsburgh look to him too.
Let me say this, though. Right behind him in this mock draft is the football team taking Matt Corral or Corral, whatever, from Ole Miss.
Yeah, Matt Corral. I think
And
that is a better pick for them.
I can honestly say that, yes, Pickett may very well move up. I don't know. I got to really deep dive into a few of these teams that are picking before that to say if they would take Pickett. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Corral gets picked before Pickett.
You have that 5 through 8 where it's New York, Carolina, and Atlanta. And
It's New York, Carolina, New York, Atlanta.
yeah, you have that.
It's-
You have that group
yeah.
right there. If Danny Dimes isn't your guy, and
Matt Corral is
Matt
your
Rule wants his guy, You honestly see them picking.
They've already talked about Danny Dimes that they wouldn't, if they're going to make a move on him, they're not making it until next year.
Let's not forget though, Danny Dimes isn't as bad if he could just hold on to the football.
But he's not a starter caliber for that.
But at the same time, if I'm a GM in the NFL, Matt Corral's a better pick to me than Pickett.
I don't disagree, especially, and that was going to be my point, is the Steelers can't protect Big Ben to save their lives. He's their number one shot, not named Najee Harris, to get them anywhere right now. And they need to have him upright and breathing by the end of the season. Not that this season's going to mean anything for the Steelers. When this season is over, they're probably already talking draft picks. But I think Matt Corral, with his ability to improvise and move, is a better right now pick.
Big arm strength. The guy can throw a rocket.
If their line is that dinged up, I see them making more moves for the line. You got Haskins is sitting behind Big Ben, right?
Well, but it's
give him a shot.
Haskins can't throw the ball. Stop telling me that.
I disagree with you on that.
Haskins can't throw the ball. Stop playing.
It's not necessarily.
He would already been starting if he could. Big Ben is struggling.
Let's not forget. Just like I said, that you see linemen going often in the first several picks.
Yeah.
You can also get a very talented lineman that's teachable and will do well in the second round and the third round.
100%.
So why not get that stellar quarterback when you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, where it's like, we've got this guy Ben, he's a Super Bowl winner, he does a good job, but we haven't been able to protect him. They, in my opinion, the Steelers would be dumb to not take Matt Corral if he's available, and if he gets picked ahead and Pickett's still there, and maybe taking him, I guess. But you got to get that quarterback, because let's be honest, Ben's done. He's done.
He is done, but I mean, you're putting him.
Who do you got left? Mason Crosby?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Mason Crosby
you're kind of setting him up
for Green Bay.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
He's talking about Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph, yeah.
But you're setting him up.
By the way,
failure
shout out Mason Crosby. I won a game because of you.
In that same breath, if you don't beef up that line, no matter who you go grab, you're going to be in trouble.
Right.
So if it's me, I'd rather take and get a more talented linebacker.
He's saying draft for need.
Lineman.
Right.
And then worry about your quarterback situation, because this guy is also unproven. Like you said, he hasn't played great talent yet.
I understand.
So he could be a bust.
That. And I
could get a lineman, which is what Pittsburgh's been known for the last few years, before they had that mass exodus. They're known for linemen.
I'm going to take this one here too. Roethlisberger being in his final year means a lot. He was drafted in the first round for them. He's paid his dues. Listen, Drew Brees wasn't his number 100% last year, and he got his farewell tour. This has been Roethlisberger's farewell tour.
And
we don't know. Exactly right. We don't know if Rudolph could spin it, because Roethlisberger's been talking about how great he is, not Rudolph. What's his fucking name? Haskins. Haskins might be that guy, but this is number 7's team still. He wants to take this out onto the sunset, and I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers may think they have their quarterback in Haskins, but we're not going to see that, because they are a traditional team. They're an old school team, and Ben Roethlisberger, say what you will about the guy, has earned that respect from this Pittsburgh Steelers team for how many years of success and winning the division and going to the playoffs, 2 Super Bowl victories. Yeah. You're not going to tell him, hey, dude, we're getting rid of you. It just doesn't work like that in the city of Pittsburgh. So I agree with Ryan. I think Haskins is the guy they're looking at.
Yeah, okay.
You can say that
worked
all you
out
want.
great in Washington.
Okay, so this is another thing where Nello compares different teams, different programs.
I have nothing else to compare it on. I have to compare with his past and what he did prior.
Have you seen him?
If he hasn't been on the field in a year and a half and he can't throw the ball, he's not going to be Pittsburgh's answer.
So what was his big problem in Washington? Tell me that.
He was an asshole.
Okay, can you go into more detail, please?
He didn't care about the team. All he cared about was going to the club, and he couldn't play and perform on the field.
Why is that?
That's proven.
Why is that?
He looked like shit. That's why.
Why is that?
Because of the Washington football team. Okay, look at Heineke. At least he's got some numbers.
No. You mentioned some things.
And when Haskins was there, they were a playoff team.
You mentioned some things that you conveniently fucking forget. Like, he did have a problem going to the club and not giving a fuck about the football team. And now they're saying that has changed. He's in the clubhouse. He's doing the workouts.
Can't fix talent.
He's being that. Look at his talent at Ohio State.
1 year. Look at Cordero Patterson or whatever the hell. Not Cordero. What was his name? Wasn't that guy, the other flash in the pan that got drafted in the second round by Buffalo and then just got faded out?
Josh Allen?
No. The guy out of Ohio State.
The guy, Terrell Pryor?
No, number 7. The guy who went to the national title game and then got spanked too.
Oh, Barrett?
No, not Barrett. Before
JT
Barrett. Before Barrett.
Pryor.
So what I'm saying is
Florida beat him.
What I'm saying is you are totally omitting his body of work at Ohio State and the fact that he was picked that highly for a reason. I'm not saying he's the end-all be-all, but they went out and got this guy. He hasn't had a chance to take the field for them, and they're saying good things about him. I think he has bought himself a year to play.
Cardale Jones was the guy I was talking about.
Yeah, Cardale Jones. All right, here's my thing. If you're Pittsburgh, in my opinion, and Matt Corral's available, and even if Pickett's available, and you don't take Corral, you're dumb. In my opinion.
Okay.
Because he is as close to an NFL-ready quarterback as you can get out of a draft. And, like I said, you can get good enough O-linemen to keep your quarterback from being on his ass so much in the second, third, fourth rounds of the draft. You can also pick them up in free agency.
Yeah, very much so.
And trading. There's a lot more options for that can do a good enough job to give your quarterback time. If Corral was not available, I don't know of another quarterback that they should take that high.
I would take Pickett just because he went to the University of Pittsburgh. And they do that. They did that with James Conner, too. They did that with James Conner, too.
Yeah, they did it with Jameis Winston, too. How'd that work out?
I'm just telling you.
It's very dumb to even let that factor.
And Coral's got some off-field issues that you don't know.
Let's go through a few more picks, and then let's go through some of the...
So we've got Ahmad Gardner out of Cincinnati going to the Vikings.
Well, you skipped the Eagles pick at inside linebacker.
No, I'm going through the list. You have a different list. You're good here. We got the Bengals taking Linderbaum out of Iowa. We got the Broncos taking Malik Willis out of Liberty.
There's your boy. Is the pick you're looking at.
There's your boy.
Well, now, Malik is also a guy who could go to the pro day and fool a lot of people and move way, way up.
All right. There's your boy. Are you happy? We picked their fucking team a couple of times.
This is a stupid pick for Broncos.
We got Drake London, wide receiver out of USC, going to the Browns. Wish him the best.
This is a good pick.
we've got this is an interesting one that I think he just threw this in here, honestly. Desmond Ridder, quarterback out of Cincinnati, going to the Saints.
This is a great pick for them. If this kid is as good as the people say he is, going to Peyton, look what he's doing with Taysom Hill. I think it's a great pick.
So one of these things is not like the other. They have Marshawn Lattimore. He's a beast at corner already. I'm not saying he won't help, but the last cornerback I remember getting all this. Where's he from?
No, quarterback.
Cornerback is what I'm talking about, right?
Desmond Ritter's the quarterback
from Cincinnati.
Old boy from Cincinnati. There's the only reason why they're in the playoffs.
There's a corner from Cincinnati that's a couple picks ahead of that. Yeah. Sorry, that was my confusion.
But my whole thing with this Desmond Ridder idea going to the Saints, they've got some serious holes to fill.
I don't dislike that pick, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if you're gonna base that on you're gonna need him for his full first contract, again we go back to what you're gambling on if he doesn't pan out.
Hey, is Michael Thomas sticking around? Because Chris Olave is still on the board.
Oh no, he's gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that could change drastically.
They need help elsewhere.
Yeah.
And Taysom Hill can do a good enough job, and Jameis can do enough job, comes back or whatever, to try to get them to the playoffs, and then from there,
I don't think Peyton has any faith in Jameis Winston.
I disagree. Look at the record with him and without him. Jameis is the guy for them.
I don't want another wide receiver.
Then we have the Philadelphia Seagulls taking Garrett Wilson from Ohio State.
Get it?
I don't like this pick, though. I like the pick. Yeah, I get it.
Why would you not like that pick? Now you got the guy on the other side of the field from Devontae.
I want the kid out of Penn State at that point. I think he's a better receiver. I don't want this pick at all.
Okay, Homer.
Oh,
look at Parsons. Are you kidding me? That kid is a beast. Yeah. By the way, another guy balling out from Penn State this week in middle linebacker for the Cowboys.
The Dolphins taking Iquanu from North Carolina State. Yeah. The Ravens taking Penning from Northern Iowa.
They need help on that.
The Bills taking.
He's the only 2A lineman on that list. What the fuck is he doing there?
The Bills.
He's 6'7", 321.
The Bills taking McCreary out of Auburn. Not bad. Dude's pretty good cornerback. Did a great job.
They need a running back. Kenneth Walker makes sense at 23 for the Bills.
The Chargers taking Jordan Davis out of Georgia.
No.
That's a big pick.
This is stupid. This Bills pick.
Jordan Davis is a beast.
I don't disagree at all with Nello on this one. They need a bell cow, but my pick is not the kid from Michigan State. Oh. My pick is the kid from Minnesota. If he's healthy.
You can't take a kid like that off of an injury, a torn Achilles like that.
Not at first, but that kid out of Georgia, he's a beast.
Big.
For the Chargers, yeah, big nose tackle for the
big boy.
3-4.
He's
a monster.
He made our O-line guys look normal.
Yeah.
And that says something for sure.
So they could get that kid from Minnesota second, third round. He's coming off of season-ending knee surgery, and they could get him at a bargain and a really fucking good player, too.
Bills need a good running back to come in because they're the only team in the NFL that didn't get a rushing yard in the first half of play.
And this kid was single-handedly beating Ohio State by himself. I'd say he's talented.
Next pick.
Then you got the Lions taking Howell out of North Carolina.
What a
QB.
waste. What a waste.
We'll see.
Yeah,
what a waste.
Wait a minute. And you're also just saying this draft that you just did to ship out your quarterback to get another quarterback. He was the answer. And now they're going to go for a quarterback? I don't see Dan Campbell doing that shit.
The Titans.
I don't either.
Titans taking Andrew Booth out of Clemson.
And what position is he?
Corner.
So you think corner's the need? Is that the pick?
Oh, yeah. Our secondary is suspect as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
The Dallas NFC East champion Cowboys, because the Eagles suck, are going to take Trayvon Walker from Georgia at 27.
Get it? Because they're better than you?
By the way, thank you, Cowboy, for doing your job this week. This pick is crazy.
Packers taking Olave out of Ohio State.
This is going to make the Cowboys' defensive line so dangerous.
Wait a minute. What? We're talking about the Packers.
We're moving on. The Packers taking Olave out of Ohio State.
Packers taking Olave? Now, that could mean a lot of things. Because if they pick up Olave, that might make Aaron Rodgers go, well, okay. Because Olave's a freaking beast. Could you imagine Olave, Randall Cobb, and Devontae Adams with Aaron Jones in the backfield? That's the best offense in the league, and I feel like I'm doing the same thing we did with the Titans. But damn, that's a really amazing lineup.
Randall Cobb's a little washed. So,
if you're taking Olave first, Devontae Adams isn't there.
No, I disagree.
Okay. No, he's still there.
Because you're signing him, you're keeping Adam Lazard, and you're drafting a guy.
So here's what I think can happen, because Aaron Rodgers has done this a couple times, and he's already said when they offered him the richest quarterback contract in the league, and he told them no. He's wanting to win. He wants a Super Bowl. So I'm sure Aaron Rodgers would be willing to say, yo, give Devontae some of that money you were going to give me, and let's sign the rookie and ball out.
Going to take a pay cut?
He already has to leave. But if they go do something like that, we might be having a different story.
I think Devontae Adams might be heading over to Las Vegas.
Now, I can guarantee you this, though. I don't disagree. If Rodgers stays in Green Bay, Devontae stays in Green Bay.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't disagree with that.
Here's why.
If one leaves, they both
Here's why. Because if they're talking to each other and Devontae's like, look, man, if you stay, I'm gone. Rodgers is gone.
Yeah,
he's not going to stay without Devontae.
100%.
Because he wants to win. And you can't win losing Devontae. They will not win a Super Bowl if they lose Devontae. I don't care who they get.
Devontae's top 5 in the league.
Yeah.
That's a rare wide receiver talent. That boy just catches the ball. He can run in space. He's just good.
Then you take the Chiefs wide receiver.
Steal of the draft. This kid
Chiefs taking Dotson, wide receiver out of Penn State. He's only harping on that because it's Penn State.
And no, it's
moving on.
He may be very lackluster. Then you got the Cardinals taking Elam out of Florida. The Patriots taking Burks out of Arkansas.
So in this thing, we've got a Patriots-Buccaneers Super Bowl, according to Todd McShay.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Speaking of which, all this could fucking change next week.
Well, let's be honest. The orders of the non-guaranteed, they don't really change much until you get down at the end.
That's right.
Just because of how things finish out.
Who do they have last?
Then you've got the reigning, defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I wonder how much
Thomas.
it costs to keep those refs on the payroll.
Cameron Thomas at defensive end out of San Diego State. Now, why do you think Todd McShay, in his first draft of the mock, because this is all going to change.
He must have a copy of that ref contract.
McShay will put a few others out there. Why do you think he chose the Bucs taking a defensive end. Why do you think that is?
I think he feels we cannot sign JPP and Ndamukong Suh.
Because we can't.
They don't want to.
No, well, hey, we also might see the salary cap increase, but it doesn't really matter. Those two guys are on the chopping block for sure. I wouldn't be surprised to see next year happen without both of them, because we've got Devin White, Vita Vea, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette.
Well, Godwin's gone.
These guys, you don't know that.
Godwin's gone. We can't afford him, and that's okay when you got Tom Brady at quarterback. Let Godwin go. Let him go
Goodwin's
make his
gone.
money. That's
of all
fine.
those people, I don't disagree.
But
Devin White is number one, with number 1A being Vita Vea.
I honestly think you guys win a Super Bowl, you might be able to keep Godwin.
I don't know, man.
Goodwin.
Well, here's why.
Well, see, this year was the year he was supposed to get paid anyway.
Yeah.
And if he stayed to win the Super Bowl,
He ain't gonna do it again.
he might do it again.
Well,
He
no,
didn't
why?
stay. He signed a franchise tender.
Now, yeah. Don't forget they franchise tagged him.
So
They
he's
did franchise tag him,
getting
but he's
paid.
an
$5
average.
$15 million a year.
He is, but
49 a year.
it'd be a blockbuster deal wherever
He can make 20 million.
I think Godwin's
Exactly.
for sure gone. I think there's no chance in hell we keep both Sue and JPP. Out of the two, would much rather keep JPP. So let's make that happen.
I would keep
Devin
JPP
White
over
and
Sue,
Vita
just
Vea
age.
are must-stays, or our number one ranked rush defense is going to fall several spots, right? That's also going to hurt the pass, what we're already weak at with injuries, but even bringing people back still. And then I think you got to look at Fournette. He's getting paid.
I'm going
He has to.
disagree with you only on the JPP and Ndamukong Suh front.
You rather have Sue?
I would rather have Sue because Sue has been consistent. He's been healthy. He has not been scratched, and he's been productive.
But
he's
he's
had
older.
a sack.
Oh, he's been great.
You say he's older. Look at JPP. He's just as old.
Neither of them are spring chickens.
I think they were drafted in
It
the
has
same
nothing to do with
goddamn year.
I think so.
But then that doesn't matter because look, we've got Vita Vea and Sue in the middle. On the outside, we've got Shaq Barrett and JPP. But who did we draft?
Joe
Tryon Shoyinka. And that guy has been getting more and more playing time as the year goes on and has been getting better and better and better. So I think they let JPP walk if he wants to. He may come back at a bargain. Who knows? He's playing all year with a torn rotator cuff. He may just retire.
Yeah, I'm only saying what ifs of losing one of them. It could be we get both because they're at that point. They've got money.
Yeah.
They've made their money. If they're looking at a potential three-peat, I could see both of them saying, we'll do what we got to do to get it done. Just show us enough respect so you don't slap us in the face.
Yeah.
I could see that. But my bet would be on JPP over Sue. That's just my opinion. I just like the guy better. I like his style.
I like him too.
He bats more balls down.
He brings a very nasty attitude to the outside, so I get that. All that aside, this isn't the pick for me.
Yeah.
This kid from San Diego State,
I
not
agree.
the pick for me.
I want secondary.
I want safety or corner.
Yes.
Give me best available.
Please do.
Because Jordan Whitehead is a beast. You could drop him down to nickel. He and Mike Edwards can alternate at the safety position. That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, you guys definitely need
But
corners.
I need best available cornerback or safety.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm right there with you on that.
I mean, the defensive line, we got Will Golston back there. We've got Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett, the best linebacking core in the league. We are looking at a stud defense, but the problem is when people figure us out and they can block our rush, our secondary can't do shit about it. So that's where we need a young kid who's going to come in and learn and be a beast.
Agreed.
Jamel Dean's going to get better. Sean Murphy Bunting is going to get better. Carlton Davis being our best quarterback, he's good, but I don't think he's elite.
I'll add this as well. If, for whatever reason, like you had said earlier, not a single running back has been named. If the Bucs take a running back, then Fournette's gone.
For sure, but I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think Bruce Arians
I don't either.
wants to say that he's going to give up on Rojo for one.
He should.
Stop that.
I don't agree. Leonard Fournette has it's not because Rojo isn't doing good, which he's got a little fumbleitis.
It's hot hand.
But Fournette is not only that, he's been a veteran who's had a lot of success. He does what Tom wants him to do without Tom having to look at him and say something.
And he just runs over people. He's been hot as hell these last.
If we get a situation where we win and we lose a Tom Brady and Kyle Trask comes in there, you don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know who's going to take snaps.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take a running back. But if they do, and we don't know the status of Fournette at the Bucs, that's going to tell you a whole lot, because that means they don't want to pay Fournette what he can get elsewhere, and that he's out the door, and it's going to be Rojo whenever they pick. But I don't think so. I agree 100% with you. Cornerback and safety should by far be the first round pick.
I think our needs, looking at our team, are safety, DB, defensive line or outside rusher, just to add depth. And then we're looking at offensive line depth. I think we need to add some more people for when we have somebody go down, we don't have a suspect offensive line.
I think maybe a tight end in the mid-tier, in the third or fourth round.
We still have Cameron Brate.
Gronk, you got
You're still talking about Gronk and Brate. O.J. Howard is not going to be there.
I don't disagree. He's draft capital at this point. I hate it. I love that guy. I love everything he's done. I think he could have played better down the stretch, and he could have had more opportunities, but you're right. But Cameron Brate is still an elite tight end right now.
I don't even think he's draft capital right now. He hasn't done anything to warrant.
Yeah, I got to agree with Brian. I mean, what the hell is he doing besides suiting up and showing up?
We could say the same thing about draft prospects. You look at somebody, and a lot of these coaches look at them and see their potential and say, give me that for XYZ reason. So I think we could still get draft capital, even if it's a 7th rounder.
I think somebody will
at that point, getting something for nothing.
They'll let him walk and then just sign him if that's the case.
Something for nothing, man. Because they just assume his contract as opposed to him going to free agency, being a Super Bowl champion, being a national champion, and then saying, yeah, I'm worth XYZ, and somebody will pay that.
Like a team will think that a 7th rounder and taking an established guy who's been in the league, who might just need a change of scenery to jolt him.
An established guy who really hasn't done anything.
Right, I know, but maybe it could just be because it's Tampa. Like you also see stories of guys not getting it done in a certain place, and then they go to another place, like they go to Indiana or something. Like Carson Wentz, Philly couldn't get it done. Look at him now; he looks good now.
Yeah.
Hold on, doesn't Carson Wentz have a Super Bowl?
Yeah, but he didn't win the game.
He didn't win this. He
got him there, but
he got us there. But
all right,
I let's. Thought that Philly special was all him, bro.
Buddy, first of all, don't ever disgrace Big Dick Nick like that again. That's Nick Foles. He caught the game-winning touchdown.
That's right. He's the backup quarterback for the Bears. Don't you dare disrespect him.
And Super Bowl champion with the statue outside.
Don't you ever refer to any other Nick than Nick Saban as Big Dick Nick.
Absolutely not. Nick Foles has got a bigger.
Everybody knows that hog leg belongs to Mr.
We have to pick
Saban.
These bowl games as much as we don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, we do need to do that. So let's go ahead. I'll let you run this this wonderful section there, Mr. Clayton. Let's just go through. Let's get our picks in. These are not a bunch of really good teams that we know a ton about, so let's hear it.
Yeah, that sucks, but it is what it is. All right. Middle Tennessee State versus Toledo.
In the Bahamas Bowl.
Toledo.
I'm going to go through the names. He's going to say the teams. I'm going to say the names.
All right. I will go with Toledo as well.
I'm just going to take Middle Tennessee.
I know nothing about either one of those teams.
So I don't either, but I have a little bit of familiarity with MTSU, but because Nello picked them, I'm going Toledo as well. Northern Illinois versus Coastal Carolina.
This is one we've been picking all year.
All day.
Yep.
The Cure Bowl.
Oh, my God.
Coastal Carolina for me.
I'm sorry, gang. Is this the Lobos? The Wolves? Northern Illinois Lobos?
Let's do it.
Give me them.
I got them.
They have had a good year.
They can play
Coastal
ball.
Carolina has not had a bad year, but they have not played a lot of stout teams. Give me Northern Illinois.
I definitely think they could cover 10.5.
I love this next one.
I feel good being on Ryan's side of that.
I like how
Western
said
Kentucky,
and Northern Illinois in the same sentence. That's what I really like.
Western Kentucky versus App State. I'm taking App State all day.
Yeah, same here.
The Boca Raton Bowl.
The roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl.
Nello.
App State, Western Kentucky.
Damn.
You're kidding me, right?
Western Kentucky put up points. I'll take Western Kentucky. They can score a lot of points.
I knew you would.
Ryan.
I'll take App State just because he went Western Kentucky.
South Carolina State versus Jackson State.
At the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Give me Dion.
Cricket Celebration Bowl? I don't even have that one.
I'm going to go with Neon Dion as well. Give me Jackson State.
Let's go, Dion.
How about this? They're really just running out of ideas. The PUBG Mobile New Mexico Bowl.
Wow. UTEP versus Fresno State.
Fresno State. Ranked, yeah, it was a rank program for a little bit.
Fresno works for me too.
So we are all in agreement on Fresno State then.
Here's one of my favorite ones right here. This one doesn't even look like it's going to be a game.
UAB versus BYU.
The Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl.
You know, their businesses matter too.
I asked this question: How is a 13th ranked team in the nation playing such a bullshit bowl?
Yeah, give me BYU. I don't see anybody picking anybody else.
BYU.
So that is the entire reason why we need to shit can a bunch of these bowls or let these lesser teams play other lesser teams and go to a larger playoff format.
There's also the Hey, What You Doing Later Bowl. This is sponsored by a guy who's just looking for people to come to his party. It says, Hey, What You Doing Later Bowl.
Eastern Michigan versus Liberty.
Boy, oh boy.
What are you doing later? Not watching this game.
Yeah, no shit.
What the fuck?
I'm going Liberty just because.
Liberty.
Guys, you are hurting my soul right now with that fucking jingle of the dumbest commercial of all time. That just makes me want to pick Eastern Michigan just because you said that.
They're both 7-5.
I want to see Liberty. I want to see Malik do something. Let me get Liberty.
I was going to say, I think your boy's going to try to show out so he can get paid.
Yeah, he is.
I know Nello's taking Liberty.
Absolutely. I said the song.
Utah State versus Oregon State.
Oof.
The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
They really get bowls.
Well, hold on. The reason why is because he's going to go out there and cry, whine, and bitch for the halftime show. That's why they named it. That's why they put his name in there.
So I see you're a fan of his show.
Well, he's an idiot.
No, they all are.
I'm taking Utah State just because I like Utah, and to me, they are more than just
I'll take Utah State just because they destroyed my Mountain West Conference championship.
I am switching mine to Oregon State.
I don't trust the Mormons. I'm going with the other people.
Give me the Beavers. They've had a good season this year. I mean, not great, but for Oregon State, they did good. Give me Oregon State. Here we got the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
Old Dominion versus Tulsa.
No, you're Marshall, Louisiana.
I missed that one. What about Louisiana versus Marshall with the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl?
Just going by what's on the spreadsheet that Nello typed
up. Oh, God. All right, so then let's go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl presented by Tax Act.
Good news.
Dominion.
Good news. Yeah. Nello has Old Dominion versus Tulsa on here twice.
Oh, yeah, there it is. That's the fuck up.
All right, so who's this game?
It's Louisiana versus Marshall.
New Orleans Bowl. Give me Louisiana, right?
I mean,
Raging Cajuns?
Makes sense.
I'm gonna go with Marshall.
I just still feel like
Thundering Green Herd.
You're taking Marshall?
No, Louisiana.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we're all in Louisiana on that one.
No, he took Marshall.
Oh. I'm taking Marshall as well.
You guys enjoy.
I can't bet against them since
this is the Raging Cajuns, correct?
Since watching the movie We Are Marshall.
And has their coach left them already?
Yes.
He's gone. He's already left to go to Florida.
He's already got one. He already signed a 4-star recruit out of Oklahoma.
So let me get this straight. The head coach is gone.
I don't know if Napier is coaching in the bowl or if he's already gone. I would assume he's gone.
Okay, here's my pick, and it's conditional. If Napier's there, give me Louisiana. If he's gone, give me Marshall.
Just give me Louisiana.
Look that up. So we know.
Yeah.
Old Dominion versus Tulsa.
Ooh, give me Old Dominion because I have no idea where they play.
Same, but I'm going to take Tulsa.
Well, Tulsa plays in Tulsa.
I know Tulsa plays.
It's a town in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know that one.
I know. I'm taking Tulsa as well.
It says about Napier that he is up in the air. He is there for the Raging Cajuns, but, it's up in the air for that, so give me Marshall.
Okay.
Sorry, who are we just picking?
Old Dominion or Tulsa?
Old Dominion? The alma mater of Taylor Heineke?
Got to go with my boy, Old Dominion, baby.
No way. Give me Tulsa.
I just wanted to be able to type Old Dom in again on here.
You don't want to be a one-man band.
Kent State versus Wyoming. This is the last one.
So you picked the Old Dominion
because
they
play on Tuesday at 3:30,
he
and we'll record before while this is playing.
I'm going to go with Wyoming.
Okay.
I'm going to take Kent State because they have a really cool looking logo.
I'm going to take the Golden Flashes as well.
I'll probably go with Wyoming.
I don't think the Cowboys have done enough. Tropical Smoothie Cave Frisco Bowl. Whoa!
That's the last on my list. So
and done. Here's your boys.
Did you take Kent State or Wyoming?
Oh, I took the Golden Flashes.
The Golden Flashes, bro.
I don't know who that is.
Kent State.
This is why we should not be picking these games. In my humble opinion.
They're bowl games during the podcast,
right.
sir. He's got to do
it.
it.
God. All right.
That's it. That's it.
So this last one, the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, we're not doing Utsa versus San Diego State?
Well, that'll be at 7:30, so.
Oh, never mind. All right. Fuck it. Who cares?
Shoot me in the face.
All right, we're going to shoot Clay in the face and then be right back after our break, and then we're going to get into some pro football. See you shortly. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Cigar City Sports Podcast. Jack, Nello, Clay, Ryan. Getting into the NFL Week 14, which, in reviewing our picks, Mr. Ryan got all but one right last week.
Ridiculous.
Trust in Ryan. The only one he got wrong is the one everybody got wrong, which is Arizona and the Rams. Except for those living in St. Louis and Los Angeles. They're the ones who picked the Rams to win.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Arizona.
This is something I'm not really going to take a lot of stock in. It sucks. It's not a loss you want to see down the stretch. But they're going to have more games to get it back together because they just got Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins back. So I don't think that's something to really press the panic button over for Arizona.
And Chase Edmonds is coming back off the IR.
Huge.
So what do you think? All these players on the Rams, all this COVID stuff coming out, and OBJ, he tested positive today. So that means he was sick yesterday with all these other COVID tests going on and all these positives in the NFL. What's going to happen for this week in general?
He did catch a pretty sick touchdown.
People about to start getting fined if they aren't vaccinated.
Oh, that's a dangerous precedent.
Well, I wasn't even trying to go there. I was just trying to talk about maybe do we push back this week for – no. Because, a lot of teams are missing a lot of crucial players.
There's a lot of things on the line to just say you're going to push back the playoffs or the Super Bowl. That just doesn't happen.
I want to say they forfeit the game. That was one of the rules that came out in the beginning of the year.
Well, that's
right.
not.
If your team wasn't so many people vaccinated that you forfeited the game.
If you are not able to field a team with the players that you have, and these guys can sign practice squad guys for these games. They're basically on temporary IR, if I understand the rules correctly.
Does the temporary IR rules go into effect for COVID rules too?
It happened for Tampa Bay with our long snapper. We pulled somebody up off the practice squad, fired him on Monday.
So that's what they are. The COVID protocol. If you test positive for COVID, you are officially on the IR until you clear protocol.
But there's only a certain amount of short-term IR spots a team can have. So what I'm saying is the COVID IR is separate from the short-term IR, the same IR that had Antonio Brown and Julio Jones and so on and so forth.
Well, also, we've talked about this with TJ Watt before. If these guys are vaccinated and they tested positive, they'll be back in 2 days. Period. They make them quarantine for a certain amount of time, but then they're back. So unless none of these guys are vaccinated, we're not talking about extended timeout.
And it's going to affect a lot of fantasy teams next week starting the playoffs.
Oh, boy.
Playoffs? Hey, buddy. Playoffs. Speaking of playoffs in fantasy football, how'd that first place finish treat you?
Are you nudging me because you want to single me out because you lost $200 to me on a dumb bet last week?
No, I want to single you out for this bet right here that you said, I'm not going to lose this division. And guess what? You lost this division to me. That is all,
I can't help that Kittle went for 34.
Oh, you were going to lose the division either way.
Lockett was going for 28.
You not being in the playoffs just makes it even better.
I think your problem here is I never cared about the division. I just needed to make the playoffs.
Oh, that's funny. I never cared about the league, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
jeez, right?
Jeez.
So we're just going to have to support the show in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be Nello and a far-off hopeful. Somebody who started off really strong, hit the rut, had a big losing streak, pieced together some wins at the end, and then scored the most points.
I know.
Last week.
Your team keeps trending up. It's kind of scary.
162, baby. And if that kind of shiznit keeps going, you might see your host, your best friend, your biggest sports outlet, the number one person
I got you.
You get your info from, be the champion of that fantasy football league.
Thank you for talking about me in that manner. I'm appreciative of you. That you see me that way.
You know what? I was going to say something really nice about you. And I'm going to say it anyway. The pizza was good, but fuck the Eagles and fuck your fantasy football team.
Oh, my gosh. I just want to know how much it costs to keep the refs on the Bucs payroll.
I want to know, like...
Someone just needs to tell me how much that bill is. Is it, included in the Tom Brady contract? How does that work?
No, answer this question. I'll answer your question with a question. Do you still believe in Santa Claus?
I mean, he is coming on December 25th. He promised me a PlayStation 5.
Is the Easter Bunny still strolling through the Camerota household? Because you believe in all this fake shit and all this stuff that you make believe.
There's a lot of missed calls
Santa
on both
treating
sides. There's a lot of missed calls on both sides of the ball.
And that's one of those things. You can't specifically put out that one because you want...
It wasn't that. That's a crucial moment in the game.
And we talked about this earlier.
Clear holding.
We talked about this too.
Come on.
There is a pass in which Mike Evans is wide open, and he is clearly held and clearly interfered with, and he doesn't catch the ball. But that could be a game changer where he catches it and goes. Boys, in the room, no bias. Mike Evans touches the ball. He is always a threat to score a touchdown.
100%, which is my point. Those refs need to tighten up. I don't care who gets the call.
I'm gonna tell you like my football coach used to tell me. What about the other 59 minutes of the game?
Mm-hmm. And even vice versa, all these bullshit penalties and pass interference calls that they're calling that are really iffy. So if you're going to call the iffy ones and you're not going to call the ones that are like legit,
so tell me
what's going on. There's got to be a balance in the officiating.
Tell me about where
that shouldn't have any bearing on the game.
Tell me about where the refs made the Bills not run the ball one time in an entire half of football in order to make us play better defense and just dominate them. Where are the refs on that one? Were the refs in the production meeting?
No, 100% that the Bucs run defense just stopped. The Bills didn't show up except for Josh Allen. I'll give you that too. Josh Allen was the only reason why the Bills were in the game late. Agreed?
Oh, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Where was the rest of the Bills team?
Getting stuffed by the Bucs D.
That defense
being
played
run
amazing.
over by the defense or by the offensive line.
Yeah.
And there's the Achilles heel of the Bills. That's why the next draft they need a running back.
That's their Achilles heel?
That running game, you can't be one dimensional.
Well, that's true of any team ever, but of the Bills, they have a running back. The first time they gave him the ball, he gashed us for 16 yards. So it's not like it's not there. They aren't committed to it. And they also just paid all the fucking money to Josh Allen and said, you're our team. So when they're in a tough situation, they kept the ball in his hands, and it was smart. He ran for over 100 yards.
Are we in agreement, though, that the officiating overall this year has been subpar as a whole?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been the same shit, different day.
I agree.
I mean, I can't see the man's pass.
The only thing is this whole taunting.
Come on, man.
Was added.
So there's 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Third down. They're in the 10. You have to call that.
Yeah, but you also
That's
have
not
to...
like the first quarter. That is... Stephon Diggs doesn't get held. He's catching a touchdown. I'm not saying they win. I'm not saying Brady doesn't march down and score. I'm saying at that point in time, that's a big play.
Yeah, they're all big plays.
But
they're all big plays.
To quote the
everything inside the 10 is a big play. I don't understand.
They're all Rick Webb in the chat. His head is turned. They're hand fighting. It seems like it. I might let that go too.
Yeah.
His jersey's being pulled.
His jersey's caught.
We're not talking about just hand fighting. We are literally talking about jersey being ripped down. That's a blatant PI. I'm not saying Mike Evans isn't any worse or any better. I'm talking about the officiating as a whole.
What I'm saying is you're focusing on the wrong fucking one. So your argument is invalid because you're not focusing on all the fucking calls. You're focusing on the one that would have made the Bills win the game. Not all the other plays you possibly could have.
We're assuming they win, but you're giving them 4 downs.
The plays you could have fucking missed.
There are hundreds of those same missed calls
and
every year in the NFL.
And you're highlighting the one. That's the problem. Not the bad officiating. Not the fact that it doesn't need to happen. Sure, we're all in agreements there. You just keep bringing up the one play that would have made the Bills win the game.
I can keep going down the list. The Eagles, Giants, the same thing. Quez Washington on the sideline. They're just bad officiating. They need to tighten up.
I mean, it is
Everybody
what it is.
Needs to tighten up.
That's true. That's true. Especially down there in Tennessee. All right, so of that game, though, that was Brady's 700th touchdown,
which they did not lose.
And that hurts
ball.
to say.
And you watched that video of the ball boy. He is in an all-out sprint. Somebody from the equipment team said, "Billy, if that ball isn't in your hands." They're like, I don't give a fuck. Go tackle Bashard Perriman. We'll pay the fine. Get that fucking ball, Billy. And Billy was like, yes, chef. Yes, chef. I'm going to go get it. And then as soon as Perriman is running towards the end zone, this kid is doing a 40 down the end zone sideline in the back end, running over to grab that ball. He's not even done celebrating. The crowd hasn't even shut up yet. This kid is in the end zone on the field, scooping and running for the Bucs sideline.
Coach is on the sideline on the Bills side. Yo, you clocked that kid running? he's our first round draft pick.
What do you think?
We need
about
a running
that?
back.
What do you think about that kid and running back?
Hold on. You said that was his 700th
He's more elusive.
ball?
He's more elusive than Singletary right now. Let's sign him right now.
Yep.
You said that was his 700?
700th, yeah.
He's a goat, and it pains me to say.
What was the 600 ball?
Patriots crap, but
what?
Wasn't it his 600th ball that just got?
It was it's still the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah. Was it
all these accolades he's breaking is insane.
Let me look up that record. I thought it was 700th touchdown ball.
Because I want to say 600 was...
No, that was the 700 touchdown. You're talking about the other ball where they gave it away?
Yeah,
to the other
that
guy?
was Drew Brees' record.
That was when he broke the passing touchdown record. That touchdown.
Right.
That was that ball. That gave him the record for most passing touchdowns.
Yeah, he's breaking multiple
that
records
ball.
this year.
This is a totally separate record of 700 total touchdowns.
Okay, total touchdowns.
So the other one was most touchdowns all time. 700 was a one-of-one ball. Nobody in the history of the league has had 700 passing touchdowns, and that was that ball.
Right. Well, it can be passing touchdown because that's what I'm saying. Drew Brees' 600 passing touchdowns was just beaten by him. He hasn't thrown 100 touchdowns this season.
Former Pat Star sets all-time NFL completions record, throws 700th touchdown TD to beat the Bills.
700th career touchdown pass. This is over his whole career.
Not just touchdowns, like rushing and shit. That's his 700th passing touchdown.
I think you're missing something here. That he took the lead of all-time passing touchdowns with Drew Brees. Drew Brees has more than 600.
Yeah.
I thought it was all-time yards.
And okay, so I thought that was a 600th ball. That's why it was such a big deal.
No. He just broke the all-time passing touchdown record that Drew Brees held. It was much more than 600. And now this, though, is his 700th because it matters that it's on an even 100.
He also broke the all-time completions record that game. He's
breaking everything.
He matched it and then broke it.
Years. I mean,
hey,
yeah, but you know what? Vinny Testaverde played for 44 years, and you couldn't light a match to Brady's career. That's just pure talent. That you got to be good to do that.
So yeah, Drew Brees all time has 608 passing touchdowns, and he is second place over Peyton Manning. So I mean, the only one with the most passing yards in a single season in Bucs history is this is another one he's going to break this year. He's in 2021. He's already at 4,134 yards. He only needs 1,000 more yards to get there. And last year he had 4,633. I think he's very capable of doing that.
4 games left?
Yeah. You think he comes back after breaking all those accolades?
I do. I think the one thing he wants, because he said it, is that he wants an undefeated season. Brady has already come out and said that if they beat the Giants that year, there's a good chance he's not playing football anymore.
That's how hard to ask. And they added an extra week to the season.
It's an impossible ask. It's only been done one time in history.
Would you say that a more recent team that goes undefeated would be better than that Miami Dolphins
100%, 1,000%. I couldn't agree anymore. I think the guys breaking records now are better than some of your favorite Hall of Famers, gang.
I agree.
I'm really sorry.
In a different state.
People don't get it. Football is in a different state. It's a different level of competition than it was all those years ago. I'm not saying Barry isn't a straight motherfucker on the field. He was not one of the baddest running backs to ever live. I'm just saying he didn't run against defensive linemen that can move like they move now.
Agreed.
He didn't play against Devin Whites of the world.
But you haven't seen anybody shifty and cut like that.
You're not wrong.
Since then, man.
The only guy I could see with speed like that was Chris Johnson. CJ2K.
He couldn't cut like Barry.
He didn't have to.
Nope. Track meet. That's literally what he said.
Yeah, he just burned everybody.
Track meet.
Yeah, but there have been some really excellent running backs. I personally put LaDainian Tomlinson at the top of the hill for running backs. I think he's the best to ever do it.
I got to agree with you on that.
Because he's like the ultimate dual package in both passing and catching.
Not to mention all the records that he broke against that top-tier talent. I mean, the game is changing and moving on, sure.
If LaDainian Tomlinson had a Super Bowl, there'd be a whole lot more discussion of him.
It wouldn't be a discussion, I feel.
He did keep the Chargers relevant when they were struggling for anything.
Big time. He was the whole team. And, remember those years when it was him against Priest Holmes? There weren't guys that could keep pace with him for very long.
All right, guys. I need to ask this question.
Okay.
Urban Meyer. What in the fuck is going on in Jacksonville?
Urban Meyer
to the point where now there are rumors coming out that Charlie Strong is the leader that the locker room is listening to, and he's going to take over on an interim basis. There's shit going on everywhere.
What you have to understand is all we're hearing about the clusterfuck that is Urban Meyer coaching in the NFL is the same stuff is still happening there. You're just the journalists and media personalities are getting fed more information of what's been going on. Yeah. This has been from the beginning. We're just getting more and more information that makes it seem worse, but it's been worse than this from the beginning.
How could anybody?
Why the fuck do we care? It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Urban Meyer. Who cares?
Because the number one draft pick and the next number one pick, the number one quarterback, the face of the NFL, just went to that team.
Yeah.
Face of the NFL?
Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be the poster child for quarterbacks for at least the next couple of years.
There's a couple of 12s way in front of him, buddy. If I had to give the face of the NFL right now, man. That's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the face of the NFL right now, and right behind him is Justin Herbert. And the only reason I'm not saying Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers is because they've been around a while.
They've been around. I'm talking
about the
new
faces of the NFL are Patrick Mahomes, who's won a Super Bowl and been slinging it, and Herbert, who has been vastly overshadowing his expectations.
Let's also not forget that the Jaguars are picking third this year. If Detroit could have kicked a few more field goals, they'd probably be picking second. If the Texans weren't garbage, they'd be picking first. So you're going to follow this draft up with another top 3 pick, right? Regardless, they're in the top 3 guaranteed no matter what else plays out, unless they just decide to start winning for some reason.
But that's the point. What's the problem in Jacksonville?
The problem is Urban Meyer. So you fire Urban Meyer immediately. It can't get any worse. You're wasting time for development for Trevor Lawrence, and you're wasting getting people behind someone that you're going to hire as the coach and be ready when you do get this other top 3 pick and you do prepare your team for next season. The longer they keep Urban, the dumber they are, in my opinion.
With 4 games left, what is it really going to matter? You know what I mean? It's the end of the season.
That's what I'm saying. Fire him now. Fire him now.
I think it causes more of...
I think it's a money thing. They still owe him money. So
a lot of fucking money.
That's all it is.
And they want to.
It's the money.
They want to see him pan out and not, I'd love to show their belly to the rest of the league and say, yeah, we wasted money on a guy who everybody probably told them, don't fucking hire this dude. He was not blowing it out of the water in college. He's not going to. I mean, he had great talent in Florida. And he won with that talent, but that's all I could think of.
3 national championships with 2 teams. And you can't argue the overall resume.
You're looking for a coach? I'm a beast on Coach Madden mode.
Again,
get your boy. I can't be any worse than Urban Meyer.
I'm not looking at the championships, so that's maybe one part of my problem. I'm looking at how many times he has straight given up on teams, players, everybody, just to say, I'm done with this.
Hid the bad deeds of a murderer when he was in Gainesville.
I mean, it's a championship at a college level, though. I mean, you're talking the NFL now. So
you're still talking about a team that has progressively never gotten better since its original state where they made the AFC championship.
And they did that with...
And they've changed ownerships, and they've changed GMs, and they changed coaches, and they've changed... What is the problem in Jacksonville?
So the only times I can remember really good Jacksonville teams were when they had two monsters on the defensive line. I don't know what it was. They used to have Henderson, and who was the other guy? Just two massive individuals. But you know who I'm talking about.
It's the,
was it Stroud?
No, Calais Campbell, wasn't it?
No. But he has been there. But that's not who I'm talking
starts
about.
With an A.
They had David Garrard. They have so many good dudes. But now...
Jimmy Smith?
Yeah.
Fred Taylor?
Yeah. Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, Mark Brunell.
I'm JD. Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah.
I mean, even more so, just the 4 years, was it 4 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago? They were in the AFC. They were there.
Going against the Pats.
Jalen Ramsey. I mean, we're not talking about scrubs. What is the problem in Jacksonville?
Ownership, leadership.
But this is new owners.
The city they play in.
I would like to see how many coaches are still on Jacksonville's payroll and why they can't fire Urban Meyer. If it has to be money, I'm just curious.
Do you want to hear the consensus view of the top 10 Jaguars players? You want to hear how atrocious this is?
It must be terrible.
Top 10 best. Brad Meester, center. Tony Brackens, defensive end. Keenan McCardell, wide receiver.
Now that's a baller.
Daryl Smith, linebacker. I'm going 10-1, by the way.
He was good.
John Henderson and Marcus Stroud.
Hey, there they are. Those are the two boys I was telling you about.
Mark Brunell at 5.
Easily.
Maurice Jones-Drew at 4.
Okay. Jimmy Smith's got to be number 1.
Got to be.
Fred Taylor, 3. Jimmy Smith, 2.
What?
And Tony Baselli, left tackle.
Oh, man, that's right. Baselli. Damn it, dude. We did good.
Yeah.
We did good.
Yeah, we
did.
But
you look at that. That's the top 10 of their history as a team.
And that's not bad.
Did they come in the 90s?
They did.
It was like late 90s or something like that.
Mark Brunell led them to the AFC Championship game.
So,
I remember.
Stroud and Henderson. Those two, they anchored that team for a decade.
You look at that list for the history of your program, and
they've had
all you could muster in, let's just call it 15 years.
Yeah.
That's all you could muster. Doesn't matter about change of ownership or GMs. They've had bad general managers, no matter who they were or how they got there. They have made poor decisions because you should have several more household names on your top 10 list in 15 years.
There's another thing to it, right? I mean, these NFL teams nowadays, they have an identity. They have a swagger about them, right? Like you go into Arrowhead Stadium, you know they're going to be running a lot of screens. They're going to be zipping the ball around the field, and they're the Kansas City Chiefs. You know that about them. When you look at Philly, you know you're going to get booed by the fans. You're going to get a snot-nosed team that is going to try to punch you in the mouth on the field, and they may not always have the best talent, but they're tough as shit. But then look at Jacksonville.
But look at the Bucs. You sign players you to win. You draft them. You're telling me Jacksonville in its 20 years can't get it together?
Well, there you go. So the difference between that is, the Rich McKays of the world and the Jason Lights of the world and us having good ownership. That's the big one.
But every ownership group that's went in there has failed. Every GM has failed. Every coach has failed.
You also have salary caps and stuff, man. After that, a few years ago when they went to the AFC, they had to get rid of a lot of people.
It's just crazy to
why
see
Jalen Ramsey got shipped. I mean,
Ramsey got shipped because he wanted to leave.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also another contributing factor. You had a lot of guys on that team that they picked up first overall or whatever, and they're not there anymore. In just the last few years, they're already gone.
Yeah.
So who takes over? Obviously Urban Meyer's getting fired. He's done.
Has to.
I disagree.
Bro, were you not
fucking
listening?
way?
I'm a beast at Coach Madden. I'm taking over next season.
Listen, I'm not saying he shouldn't be fired. I'm not saying he shouldn't be fired. I'm not saying he doesn't belong there or that he belongs in Jacksonville. I think it's a stupid move to keep him. But Jacksonville's going to make that stupid move because Urban Meyer's a name. You want to talk about getting Jameis Winston in Florida or picking your Penn State boy in Pennsylvania and Philly. It's the same thing. Urban Meyer is loved out there in Jacksonville. I don't know why.
I don't think he is.
No fucking way.
Okay, not by the fans, but in Florida, Gator fans still have something to say about him.
You want to get into
and all the Gator fans are commenting right now, the fuck we do, fuck Urban Meyer. And guys, I'm with you. Fuck Urban Meyer. I just think Jacksonville's ownership and leadership is too fucking stupid to get rid of him because he has been able to have a silver tongue everywhere he goes to get people to keep him around. I don't know what the fuck he's pouring in their drinks, but Urban Meyer is a problem and he knows how to stick around when he wants and he knows how to leave when he wants.
That's a great fucking point. We thought Urban Meyer coming to the Jacksonville Jaguars was like, oh my gosh, Urban's going to turn them around. First year, they're going to win 4, 5, 6 games.
Disagree. I did not say that shit.
A lot of people thought he was going to sit there and turn them around, and it's just been a dumpster fire.
Yeah. All right. Well,
his own quarterback is going against him.
Let's talk about these last week picks.
Yeah, let's talk about last week picks. Then we got to get into picks for next week.
Let's talk about Ryan.
Yeah,
going 13-1.
Yeah.
If this was 2 for the money, that guy right there is Matthew McConaughey.
Only one person has come that close thus far, and that man's name was me.
So, all of us.
I did not do that, though.
All of us took the Steelers.
Yeah.
Except for
Mr. Ryan.
Mr. Ryan, who took Minnesota and won
and what did I say? Minnesota can't decide when they want to be a good team.
In my defense, Dalvin Cook wasn't supposed to play.
Up.
They also almost gave that game away.
They also did. If Chase Claypool could not
It wasn't just for the refs allowing Chase Claypool to celebrate for 3 seconds. The Pittsburgh Steelers would have won, and then they would have gone on to the Galactus Alliance and policed the rest of the universe.
They would have reached
Fucking
level
refs.
48 and met Xanadu.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Ravens and Browns, we all took Cleveland. All got that right.
I just love the way you say,
how bad is Lamar's ankle?
Speaking of our soothsayer,
how bad is Lamar's ankle? He didn't play the second half of that game.
Excuse me, our fake fortune teller over here, the only one, Nello, that picked the Jags against the Titans. How'd that work out?
That was before the Urban Meyer shit came out again.
What did Trevor Lawrence do in that game?
When did the Urban Meyer shit go away?
Hey, so Trevor Lawrence did what?
4 interceptions.
What did he not do?
Throw to the right team.
Hey, all right answers are accepted.
Yeah,
he also
right.
did not throw a touchdown.
But you have a guy like James Robinson. He got 6 carries. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Terrible organization.
Raiders, Chiefs, we all took the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If this Chiefs defense stays up, they're right back. Forget the first month and a half of football.
Yeah, they're a problem.
Just throw that out the window. I'm sure all these other coaches that are playing them the rest of the season have done that already.
Yeah.
This is a whole different. They got Edwards-Helaire back. He's not shocking people, but he's doing a good job. But that Kansas City defense has gone from garbage to very good in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
And they're spreading the ball around so much on offense that it's hard to just say, well, their secondary players are not going to get it because that's how they've been winning these games.
Then
Josh Gordon got his first touchdown.
Then on the next one. Yeah, he did. That's a very notable thing to say. It's been a while for him. The next one, Saints and Jets, Mr. Jack. I feel like you went on a limb.
I know.
And
you want to give me shit about
like,
Jacksonville, though.
Well, so I did because the Jets have actually won games this year.
So have the Jags. They won twice.
Who's won more games?
They're both won twice. Oh, no. Maybe the Jets have 3. Do they have 3?
Anyway, doesn't matter. I thought Taysom Hill had a kind of pitiful showing and he was going to do the same thing, and that if the Jets had a chance, they'd have it there, but they proved me wrong.
Hey, you got to take a shot every now and
But the Saints didn't wow me in that game either.
I'm also sick of the times where I'm like, this team might win, and then I don't pick them, and then they win.
Yeah. We also all took the Cowboys, and they did, in fact, beat the football team.
No, Nello took the other one. Nello took the football team.
Then he must have changed it.
No, I didn't change it. I took Dallas.
Oh, you took Dallas.
I needed Washington to lose.
My mistake.
You
game this
picked
week.
Dallas.
I did. I need Dallas to win the division. I need Dallas to win the division. I want the wild card. Why a strive for things?
Do you want that helmet over there?
I bet Nello secretly wears Cowboys whitey tie.
Let's get him that star.
Yeah.
Never.
So
he makes his wife call him Jerry Jones in the bedroom.
Oh, that's gross.
What?
I could never unhear that now.
I'm sorry, Laura. I'm sorry. You've got much more respect for that.
Once again, Nello picked different than the rest of us, taking the Panthers over the Falcons.
Goddamn Cam Newton. The one time I'm like, he's going to move the ball against Atlanta. He moved the ball the wrong way.
And then they bench him for the 2-minute offense, in air quotes.
Yeah.
We all took Seattle against the Texans all right. We all took the Broncos against the Lions all right. We all took the Chargers against the Giants all right. I feel like those were all games that's how it was going to go.
Yeah.
Maybe
just before you go to the next game, what they did in the Broncos game was pretty dope, where they lined up with 10 on the first snap of the game.
That was really cool. I loved that, and this is no surprise out of me from the Lions organization that they get that penalty, instantly decline it, and we're back at it. I thought that was a really amazing show of class by both organizations.
Yeah, it was final drive of the Broncos of the game, 88 yards.
Wow.
That was not planned. That just happened. Or they might have done something at the end. I didn't watch the end of that game, but that was good. Demaryius Thomas, great dude. Sucks what happened. Then we have the 49ers against the Bengals. We were split down the middle of this with me and Jack taking Cincy. Fortunately, we were wrong.
Yeah.
It was Nello
Cincy
and Ryan.
can't figure it out.
Nah, man, you never know what Cincy you're going to get, and the Niners are streaking hot. Man.
They took him to overtime. They took him to overtime, and George Kittle is a major difference maker, and he reminded everybody.
Especially in that game.
That's what I said.
And Jimmy G is doing his job. Deek, nothing crazy. And the playmakers and their speed are just beating people.
Yep.
We talked at length already. The Bucks-Bills. Bucks pulled it out. Honestly, we all picked the Bucks, but I mean that was one heck of a
Buffalo.
game.
What a tailspin.
One heck of a game. I'm not going to call it a tailspin because they almost beat the reigning champs that are now tied for the first.
I'm talking about overall.
They're competing. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
Were the Bills the pretenders?
The pretenders.
They are.
Who I thought were going to win it all.
Bears versus Packers. Nello takes the Bears.
Which I wasn't that far off.
For 2.5 quarters, Nello was about to be walking in here king shit. The Bears did not show their belly.
That's why they play 4 in the... Aaron Rodgers has ownership stake in the Bears.
If you give Justin Fields weapons and you give that team a better freaking coach...
Or better offensive line.
And then the one.
Too.
The one that we all got wrong. Now, Ryan got 13 right. I got 11. Jack got 10. Nello got 9. But the one we all missed, and the only one Ryan missed,
Arizona and the
Rams beating the Cardinals. We all took the Cards, which I think is the smart play there.
Yeah.
But, oh, boy, it was
Let me tell you
they came out on top.
Cooper Kupp is going to be a sought-after commodity next year in fantasy football. He is going to be the first wide receiver taken off the board, I bet you. If Stafford's still slinging, you will see Cooper Kupp go first.
OBJ was not the problem in Cleveland.
We know Stafford will still be slinging.
Did Cleveland win last week?
Yeah, but look at what he's doing
against
for the Rams.
Tough division rival.
All I'm saying is look what he's doing for the Rams. He wasn't the problem.
He caught a touchdown pass. Cooper Kupp has vastly outshined him.
No, but I'm just saying, like, as an added bonus, that offense just keeps clicking. Even Van Jefferson.
Listen, and not to mention, doesn't this sound like the same story? OBJ goes to a new team, starts breaking it out. Then a year in or a year and a half, he doesn't like that he's not getting enough looks. People aren't doing their job, which is making him drop the ball. He's getting all the coverage, and then all of a sudden, he's the problem again.
I mean, well, he only went to the one team and restarted.
So the Giants, he left because they were the problem. He didn't like the Giants after he had that
the Giants organization were done with them.
Not true. I mean, that's not untrue, is what I meant to say. He goes to Cleveland. He's the answer in Cleveland.
Right.
Everything's going to be great. He's a big team player. His dad puts together a PowerPoint presentation about the quarterback.
Baker was missing him.
And he ends up just leaving. And now, all of a sudden, he's back to being great.
I'm not saying that, but the Giants traded him to Cleveland as a fuck you. You're not going anywhere. We're going to put you where we take you.
Yeah, that was kind of their thing because they had just re-signed him and done whatever, and then out of nowhere, boom, he's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'd be a little bitter, too, if I was here one day. I already got to fucking deal with Eli Manning, and then now I've got to play for fucking Cleveland Browns. And
Case Keenum.
So you're taking Danny Dimes over Eli Manning? Am I understanding
Wait,
this?
what? No.
By deductive reasoning?
No, I'm not
Eli.
taking either, but I mean,
any big so the Packers are now the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Well deserved,
right?
Playing
and
their
they're
asses
streaking
off.
high. Like that defense came to play. The only difference, everyone wants to say that the Bears lost. The Bears gave them a game, and that defense had to play lights out to stop that team. And that's 2 pick sixes in a row from Rasul Douglas.
2 pick-sixes.
Yes.
All right.
The proud of the Super Bowl.
Let's take our last break, and then we're going to do our picks, and that's going to be it for us today. So we'll be right back with Week 15. And we're back. Talking about Week 15. I didn't get to make the list this week, so I didn't get any colorful names for the Eagles.
I got a colorful name for us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that going to be?
Well, we'll find out when we get there.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'll be sure to be fully descriptive.
Okay. Oh, so you've got his list in front of you.
I have it right here.
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Do I get mine? Can you use one of mine?
You just did. Did you see the draft list?
That's right.
All right.
The Seagulls.
I felt I was gentle.
Seagulls.
Starting out, big game. Chiefs-Chargers.
Wow.
Thursday night football.
That is a big game. This is probably the toughest one to call.
Big offense, big defense.
Right.
It's just going to be fun.
And we talked about people who are streaking. The Chargers are doing that very same thing.
I am assuming Austin Eckler can't turn it around and play this game. Give me the Chiefs. And this hurts because if Eckler's back, I'll switch my pick right away and take Chargers.
What's going on with Eckler?
Yeah, he was out of the game at the third quarter with an ankle. And they're saying there's no way. If it was Sunday, maybe, not on a Thursday night turnaround.
Yeah. I want to believe in the Chargers and the Chargers defense and Herbert. And it's not so much that I don't believe in them as I think the Chiefs have found their groove. Where is this game?
LA.
Eckler's just a big weapon. He's just a big weapon to miss.
I don't think it takes away from the Chiefs. I think it only just doesn't take away from the Chargers if it was in Kansas City and Arrowhead.
If it was in Arrowhead, it's a no-brainer Chiefs pick for me. This is still contested. It's really tough. Give me Mahomes.
Yeah. That defense is
if I'm picking between those two quarterbacks right now, it's Mahomes.
They embarrassed the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going with the other Chiefs as well.
But if Eckler plays, I'll take the Chargers.
That's a huge factor.
I'm still taking the Chiefs.
Okay.
That's me. All right, next up we got Raiders-Browns.
Ooh. Saturday night, doubleheader
game.
This is a really tough one, actually. And this is where? In Las Vegas?
It's in Cleveland.
See.
And I'm taking the Browns because of that.
Now, it's in Cleveland. Is there a Nick Chubb to be seen?
Does it matter?
Healthy? Yes.
No. Browns.
I mean, it matters, but I would still take the Browns over the Raiders.
I mean, I think it matters being in Cleveland, but I'm going Cleveland either way. I just think Nick Chubb makes it a certainty.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. They got like 7 people on their COVID list.
It's so hard to pick these games because these COVID numbers are going to change.
And we've said this a lot about
the Raiders.
About TJ Watt and him saying, no TJ Watt, they're not going to do well. He's out due to COVID. We all pick against him. TJ Watt shows up. They win the game. So
it's Omicron.
This could change very quickly.
They still have Miles Garrett on the edge.
Oh, my God.
It's over.
The other Saturday game, Pats, Colts in Indianapolis. I'm taking the Pats
what
all
a fucking
day.
game,
This
boys.
is going to be a fucking game indeed.
It is, but the Pats are going to win it.
I'm taking the Colts.
That's so
both coming off of a bye.
So difficult.
All of that confidence that I had just went to about shit when he just said Colts. So, you know what? I still think they're going to win, but now I'm not so sure.
Oh, man.
I mean, they've got a solid defense, and to me personally, Mac Jones still hasn't lit my world up.
Yeah, but he's in a dome now. Win's not a factor.
Is Belichick going to be able to stop Taylor from running wild?
That's the other thing.
That's the question.
That is the question. And if the Patriots have had a strength, it's been their defense.
You're the guy that's been on that D-Dick all season.
I know, man.
You can put my name right under his on that list. I have been on the Patriots defense all year.
And the Colts run defense stopped Rashawn Stevenson and Damian Harrison. I took both of those boys.
Harris.
Okay, Harris. Excuse me.
Yes, they can.
So who do you want, Nello?
Give me the Pats because it's fucking Belichick. But god damn,
he
this
wants
is hard.
the Pats.
Plus Carson Wentz. 3 more steps, buddy. 3 more.
I have had a love-hate relationship with the Colts all year. The New England Patriots have not done me any favors. But since it is in Indianapolis on a primetime game, I'm going with the Colts.
He is taking Colts.
Is this going to be a 50-50 split?
All right, next up.
Is it a 50-50 split? Who'd you go with?
No, I took Pat, so it's 50-50. Yeah.
There you go.
I forgot that Ryan took the.
They're both coming off a bye week too, man.
Oh my God, that's going to be a baller game.
All right,
Jonathan Taylor will be the reason the Colts win if they win.
Okay, well, I fully understand that. I think the Pats D can shut that down, and I think Damian Harris.
The only team that's really shut down Jonathan Taylor has been Tampa Bay.
Is that hamstring going to be fully healed?
It'll be all right. He'll be fine. I
love this.
Washington. I'm going to read it as is.
Okay.
The Washington GTFOH, for those of you in our listening audience is a little older.
They have a bunch of letters, so I just
Washington,
made my own letter pattern.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Versus the filthy with a PH Philly Eagles EGLZ.
Wow.
What do you got? I've got the get the fuck out of here. I'm taking the football team.
Wow. Slap in the face. I think we're going to win, and we're going to win big.
This game is in Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to win big. We got a week. They look like crap against the Cowboys. Our defense is good. Jalen Hurts should be back. We're running the ball really good.
What about Minshew?
Never thought I'd say this, but with no Taylor Heineke, I got to go with the Birds. Give me the
yes. And a big wild card game.
This is a huge game for them, and I know Jalen Hurts in big situations can do very well. If they can spread the ball out and run the ball or get the ball in Miles Sanders' hands, it's going to be a runaway game for the Birds.
And I'll tell you what, Minshew Mania, everybody needs a Maverick that has to go down. So if Minshew has to be the guy, so be it.
Here's the only thing that will change my decision.
Okay.
If McLaurin does not clear concussion protocol,
then they got nobody.
Then I'm taking the Eagles all day. Okay. But I think with McLaurin there, that's enough for me. So I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Ryan, did you say Eagles as well?
Oh, yeah.
Big game.
Go
big
Birds.
Game for the playoffs.
Won't say it often,
game.
but go Birds.
Sons of Beach, I'm the only one out on that one. All right, we've got the Arizona Cardinals versus the Lions. Now, it's in Detroit if that's going to sway your pick, okay?
The Lions just got eliminated last week from the playoffs. Let's just not take that into consideration.
This is in Detroit, which is a dome, okay?
I was trying to think of something to hype up about the Lions. It's just not there.
Dude, they just got eliminated last week. Yeah. So
here's the only thing I can say about that. If the Lions lose this one by 3 or less, they should mark that a tally on the W.
Yeah.
Give them the W.
Give me the Cardinals. They're going to be pissed.
For sure.
Yeah,
I don't think the Cardinals.
We all have the Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals are rebounding after that loss.
They have to.
I don't think they're going to be pissed. I think they are going to be really fucking focused on executing like crazy. Yeah, for sure.
They have to now. They're looking at what the Bucs have coming up ahead of them. They're now tied because they dropped last week.
Yeah.
They know if they don't win out, they're losing that home field advantage.
Yep.
Could be a closer game if Swift plays.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe
Arizona
Jamal
wins, but it could be close.
Jamal Williams did just as good of a job. He
didn't play last week.
He's not quite the pass catcher. Well, I understand that.
He was better for the Packers than he was for the Lions.
The game before,
that's not saying much.
The game before, he did quite well filling in.
He had a lot better supporting class.
He's just not quite the pass catcher, but he did a good job.
All right.
Next up, Jets Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
I mean, just because the Jets have been the Jets, is this in Miami?
Yeah.
Dolphins were on bye week last week, right?
And Jalen Waddle is on track for the most receptions.
He's quietly having a monster year.
Yeah, me and Jack talked about that when I saw that stat. I'm like, look at this, Jack. I knew he was doing well, but I never thought this because he's just going about his business.
Why can't we throw the ball to Devontae? Beats me. I don't know why we took him at 6 if he's only getting 2 targets a game. Someone explain it to me.
Because Devontae lines up outside. He lines up outside against their best opposition week in and week out. He has a tougher job. Waddle lines up everywhere.
Let's not forget Devontae Parker picks up a lot of coverage
on the top. I know, I agree, but I just want to know why can't we throw it to him more?
Chris Olave.
Right, though.
Chris Olave.
Falcons 49ers. I'm taking the 49ers all day.
Yep.
49ers.
Niners.
You know what's crazy? Is there's always one pick that I regret.
Is this the one?
Every week. There's always one that I'm like, you know what? This team I've slept on them. Not today. Where is this game?
San Fran.
It doesn't fucking matter. San Francisco's going to murder them.
But what if Matt Ryan shows up?
No, I was just building you up to let you down. I'm sorry, but the Falcons don't have a shot on this one.
Yeah, no, yeah, it should be.
Like, it would just take Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson to just have the most insane game together.
I mean, we're forgetting that this 49ers defense is damn good.
Fred Warner is a man in the middle of that linebacker core. Holy shit.
Well, they have the second most picks at D-line compared to the Washington football team. So they've got first-round talent studs on that defense.
And they moved first-round talent out, like Buckner and stuff.
If the Jimmy G we saw last week is who we see the rest of the year, they might not lose another game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way
they're streaking for sure.
They're playing a nice offense.
Next up, I think is pretty easy. Titans-Texans. It's in Houston, but, I mean, this is Titans, right? Am I crazy?
What's the word on Derrick Henry?
He's out for the season.
Playoffs.
No, he's not. They're saying he could be back early as January.
No way, for real?
Playoffs.
It's already been almost
from a
6
broken
weeks.
foot. No, it hasn't been 6 weeks. It's been like
that's what I'm saying.
Reports are he's healing pretty good.
I'm definitely on the Titans. There's no way I'm picking against the Titans in this, but Derrick Henry might be able to come back late in the season.
No,
we play the Steelers.
Even
I don't know where you got the Texans from.
Well, who do you think I got it from?
You said it. You said Tennessee versus the Titans.
Because that's what's here. Who do you think typed this?
Oh,
no. I wish we played the Texans.
For everybody listening, it's our fault. This is what we get for not fact-checking whatever it is Nello does. Jesus Christ. It's the Titans Steelers.
I have them in fantasy, and I saw that and didn't even correct it.
I had a lot to do today.
It is Titans, Steelers, and then he has the Texans again with the Jags, which is right. It's okay. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Nello works his ass off, so we're going to give him a little bit here. But from now on, for your sake, we're going to fact check.
His life is rough as it is. He's an Eagles fan.
Titans, Steelers, does that change your... I think this is still geared. This is a Titans win for me.
Yeah, the way the Steelers look is
Steelers just have shown me nothing as of late.
I'm hoping we can outplay them.
And this is in Tennessee?
It's in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh.
Doesn't matter.
That doesn't sway me, though, with how...
TJ Watt playing?
That's still what
probably.
If TJ Watt's in there, give me the Steelers.
So I'm going to put you for Pitt.
Yep, put me for Pitt.
And so if he's not playing, you're Titans. Got it. Now I got to read this one out. Seattle Seahawks versus the L.A. Goal Damn Rams. GAWDAM. That is the L.A. Goddamn Rams.
Goddamn Rams.
Them goddamn Rams going to go in there. They're going to come up on that Seattle Seahawks. You know what they're going to do? They go, boom, shoot a bird.
There you go.
I'm going Rams.
And you know what I was watching while I was doing this? King of the Hill. That's why I got goddamn.
He gonna take you down, man.
Rams are gonna win.
My name's Hank. I sell propane and propane accessories.
Although there is gonna be a lot of COVID on that Rams team, so it's
damn it, Bobby! Damn it, Bobby!
I'm taking Rams all day here.
Oh,
me too.
Beckham is also on the COVID list. That team's gonna be decimated with people getting.
It's Rams versus
the Seahawks
in L.A.
Yeah,
Rams
for sure. Then we have the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jags, and then zzz, like they're sleeping.
It's a sleep game.
I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, your wordplay is.
I'm taking the Texans.
It was a rough week. I had a lot.
All you had to do was put Jags, one bed, one blanket. Texans, that's me.
Jacksonville will win this game.
I don't disagree. And this is because the Texans, watching them week in and week out, find a way to lose. I feel silly asking, this game is in Jacksonville?
Yes.
I'll take the Jags.
I feel like this game here is just like a setup. It's like, who wants that higher pick?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe we just go.
No one's taking the Houston
This
Texans
reminds me of
pick.
that South Park
second pick
episode of when they're playing baseball and the boys are trying so hard to lose and they can't.
Yeah.
This is both of these teams this year.
Well, I'm taking the Texans.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it for sure.
Davis Mills had the most completions by a rookie at 14 in a row, but
all right,
Jags.
The Cincinnati Bengal Cubs versus the Denver Broncos.
They need to grow up.
I'm taking them Cubs.
Me too. Cincinnati can't figure out who they are. I'm going to keep picking them because when they show up, and they took San Fran to overtime. they're not slouching. I mean, they're not living up to their expectations, but give me the Bengals.
I'll take the Broncos defense against that offense.
That's what I'm not taking, because then Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase are going to move the ball more than whoever's on offense for the Broncos. Then the problem is Teddy Two Gloves has to beat a very stout Cincinnati defense.
I don't know. They're running the ball really good, and Jerry Jeudy's catching the ball. Those tight ends are catching the ball. They have a really good wide receiver core.
We'll see.
If the Denver defense can keep it close,
This is what it comes down to right here, Ryan.
Ryan, what you got?
What is it?
Cincy versus...
For some reason, I'm feeling the Broncos.
Don't like that one. And then, is that who you going with?
But no, I think I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals? Let's go for the Bengals. Why we?
All right, the Green Bay Packers versus the Baltimore IR Ravens. That's about one of the only few that I thought was like, yes,
that was clever.
That was good.
Nothing is slowing down the pack right now. No. I don't even need to know where this game's at.
It's too bad that this game is happening the way it did, because if these two rosters were full,
it would still go
with no injuries. It would be an amazing game.
Yeah, well, it would be fun to watch until the Packers defense stuff Lamar Jackson.
Still be amazing.
And Aaron Rodgers still out there airing that motherfucker out.
That's a good defense that they would be playing in Baltimore too. It's not like a lay
Baltimore also just lost Marlon Humphrey.
Ryan,
huge loss.
Yeah.
Oh, Packers.
Packers win just because, who is Jackson playing this week?
Yeah.
Against my better judgment of going against history, I am taking the Bucs against the Saints here.
This is
because everything points to the Saints should beat the Bucs. It's how it goes.
Yep.
But I'm taking the Bucs. They are on fire.
This is a trap game. It's a tough one, but it is Sunday Night Football. Need I remind everybody, the last time Saints came to town, Sunday Night Football, they beat our ass with Drew Brees.
Yeah, that's the key factor there is Drew Brees. I'm like, why are you guys even worried about this game?
However, Mr. Brady also takes that shit to heart. He got beat on prime time. He got embarrassed. This Saints defense is going to feel the wrath on this game. And this will be a real test of where the Bucs offense is at right now.
Also, I feel sorry for Taysom Hill and what's about to happen to him. That defense is going to make an example out of
You're going to see designed runs, and you're going to remember that there's this sequence of numbers. I want you to remember it. 5-4-4-5. Remember that. They are going to be looking to remove someone's head on this game.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill's going to show up and throw 607 touchdowns.
He's going to have to.
This is where you pick the Saints on that comment.
He's going to have to. He's going to have to, because the way they looked against the Jets, and if they look that way, that offense struggled to move the ball until the fourth.
Yeah.
And if they think that Taysom Hill is going to scramble for 44 yards against the number one rushing defense in the NFL, they got another thing coming.
Well,
Give me the Bucs.
look at Josh Allen, who just put up 100, and he was their only weapon.
I mean, let's not forget, too, it's like the second to last play of the game, because Taysom Hill scrambled for like 30 yards or something like that with not a lot of time left, got down to the 1 yard line, and then they kneeled it to end the game because they were already winning. He just had the scramble he had to make. Most of his yardage was on that bullshit play right there. He's about to get his shit pushed in if he tries to run the ball. I'm going to go and tell you right now. You got JPP and Sue on each end. You got the number sequence that he just mentioned sitting there ready, hoping
Devin White won't let him run for anything.
They're both going bootleg my way. Bootleg my way. Please bootleg to my side. Please.
That linebacker core you guys have is so good. There's no way he'll be able to run.
He'll get hurt if he runs it. He'll get hurt.
Him or Kamara.
I don't want to see
and
that.
That's the lifeline of the Saints right now.
Kamara's going to be just fine. He's not going to get good stats, but he's going to be all right. But if Taysom Hill tries to run it too much, he's going to get hurt, and nobody wants to see that. So are we all Bucs? Ryan, what are you doing over there?
Yeah, Bucs.
I mean, you worried me with that comment.
No, I was.
The Vikings versus you're going to have to explain this, the Chicago Bears plus a 5. That's a typo, ain't it?
Yeah.
I knew it was. He hit control and did something. That's what that was. So in my opinion, I think the Vikings are taking this.
Yeah. I think the Vikings are one of those teams that can't decide if they're good or not. Unfortunately for the Chicago Bears, they're not one of the teams that decides that.
They already know.
Yeah. Give me the Vikings.
Skull, baby.
He wants it. He wants it so bad. He has Justin Fields fever. Listen, the Bears are one of the most historic franchises in the league. They're really good, and they just challenged the Packers. They just went and did their thing. Jason Briggs.
They had
They stopped those running backs.
Peanut Tillman.
They had Urlacher at one point. He still owns a steakhouse in Chicago. So let's just ipso facto, he's playing for
them. No, but they look really good. They look loose. They know they're not going anywhere.
Benson was on
there. Say it. I want to hear you say it.
Come on, let's hear that dirty little mouth admit it.
Give you what?
I'll take the Bears.
Oh, yeah,
I love Justin Fields. Showed me that he's playing now. They don't care.
Yeah,
Nagy knows he's getting fired. They're going to be loose.
Yeah,
they got nothing to lose.
Sure, yeah.
So just to run down real quick, looking back at these picks, if you stick with Pittsburgh,
Jack? Yeah.
If you stick with them, I'm the only one picking opposite of everybody, and that's me taking the football team over the Eagles. And if you stick with Pitt, you're the only one taking Pitt over the Titans, and that's it. We're either
everything else is
all the same.
If Eckler plays Thursday night, I'll take the Chargers.
Oh, that's right, and he's going to switch to the Chargers if Eckler plays, so that'll add him to that. But that's nothing new here. He's always got his name there the most.
Right
typically.
Oh wow.
Well,
you watch Justin Fields come ball out on Monday night.
He is going to ball out.
Hey, I'll tell you this Thursday night game is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, the only game to watch this week.
He got a rec league basketball
besides the Eagles game.
But we're going to see a pretty good game Thursday for sure.
Yeah.
But now, this is the time. Pretty soon, we're talking all the playoff scenarios, who does what. Football season, I'm sorry, gang, is running to a close here. We are sprinting to the finish.
I'm excited.
Me too. I think it's going to be a great season. I can't wait to see the Bucs repeat. I can't wait to hear Nello cry about it.
Bucs who?
Fire the cannons, roll tide.
Can you pay refs that far into the season?
I can't wait to hear Nello say, listen, man, I don't want to talk about it. Just so much money I put in that game and I lost it.
Those fights this weekend, though. Mamma mia.